Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not
We will bring the jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy
They
there.
got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican police service Latino.
Is that correct?
I didn't ask you to interrupt me. Oh, for Trump's sake.
All right, good afternoon. That's what it is. Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Just enjoying my afternoon siesta as I sleep off this delicious chef salad my wife made for me. Then I had 2 gala apples on top of that. So yeah, it's going to be nap time this afternoon. It's all that sugar exits my system, but. Welcome. Good to have you all here. How's your lunch? Looking for the found out sound.
Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case?
Oh, she found out.
There we go. All right. Haven't played that one in a while. Greeners is back. Greeners is back and in style. He actually won the internet. Congratulations, Greeners. You, my friend, are first in chat, if I can make it happen. Again, welcome back. We missed you. We did talk about you while you were gone. You don't have to go back and rewatch it. It's nothing bad. But glad to have you here. Congratulations because you're here first. We're sentencing you to internet ownership. Everything IP related to your responsibility for the rest of the day. There you go. That does include, Greeners, I might add, all the way through tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern when I'm going to be on with Josh from Courtroom Confidential. So Josh Ritter and I are going to talk a little bit about the au pair case, which we hope, fingers crossed, we have a verdict for, but as it stands right now, we do not. So we're going to jump back to the...
Direct examination.
Thank you, Judge. Lieutenant, just one question from that phone call. Who is Tiffany?
Tiffany's the office manager for Square One and Pickles.
Now, did you listen to a phone call from December 14th of 2018? Was there a transcript for that phone call?
There was.
Specifically number 29? And did that transcript accurately and fairly portray that phone call?
Yeah.
I'm showing you what's been marked at its S. 397. Do you recognize that?
Yes, this is the transcript from December 14, 2018, call 29.
And what's the date?
December 14, 2018.
Judge, permission to pass out the transcripts and approach.
Sure.
We have another phone call to listen to. I'm fixing the sounds right now. It'll be just a second, and hello should work. Okay, it works now. Right, we still have Patrick Petruzziello on the stand. I can't say his name. And we're listening to more jail calls. Yay! Yay for jail calls. Should we slow this one down a little bit? Give me just a
Back
second.
screen.
Oh,
We're going to slow this down to actual speed because there might be some important stuff.
Monitored and recorded. Please enter your PIN number at the tone. Please clearly state your first and last name after the tone.
Paul Caneiro.
Please enter your 4-digit. Thank you for using Global Tone Link. Your call is being processed. This is a Global Tone Link. Take a call from
Paul Caneiro.
an inmate at the Monmouth County Correctional Facility. This call will be monitored and recorded. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To hear the cost of this call, press 9 now. To accept this call, press 0 now. To decline this call, hang up.
It's prepaid. It should be free.
Hello?
Ed.
Hey, mind speaker.
Nothing more. What's up?
I wanted to thank you for coming.
Okay. Good to see you.
It's great seeing you guys.
What?
1 second. I said it was great seeing you guys.
Okay.
It's hard.
Kind of scary.
I know. I'm sorry. It shouldn't be this hard for you guys. What I asked you, I want you to do. I know I don't have a right to ask. I want us to be together. When I get out of here.
Did you speak to the lawyers today?
No.
No.
I just got out of the room now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a visit with us today? Oh, you got them?
Yeah,
You
thank
got the doctors? And I put one of them in the console.
Okay, thank you.
There's another 100 in there.
Okay. She's been last me for a while. How are the girls? Are they okay after you left?
Yeah. Okay.
They were upset.
I'm not kind of upset.
It's the last place I want to be. It's the last place I belong. Did that combo work for you?
I don't know, we didn't go back.
Okay.
Too dark.
No problem.
So dark, even in the day So, I'll try going back tomorrow, maybe.
Okay. But everything else is good?
Yeah. So what kind of car is it?
What?
What kind of car?
I didn't hear you.
What kind of car?
I'm not sure what you're asking me.
The one you're paying for.
I'm really following right now. I'm sorry.
You're not following?
No.
I asked you about a payment.
Oh. An Audi. Small one.
That one?
Yeah.
Will you pay it?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? It's on the other pay.
Yeah, I just put it that way.
Do you know what that means?
Sorry?
I paid it. I paid it 4 days ago.
Did you?
Yes.
Why?
Because your account was negative. Because your account was negative.
I told you.
And I couldn't see it yet. I couldn't see it yet. I couldn't see it yet. And then the mortgage was outstanding, so I transferred the money over.
I'm sorry. I told Katie that day on the phone to cancel all the auto payments.
She couldn't. We can't get into your bill payments. Even with power of attorney. No, even with power of attorney, I can't get in. So I won't get there, whatever. She couldn't get into your bill payments. She couldn't understand your accounts.
She was in there originally, because she was able to see them all.
She could see them. You can't do anything.
She's going to go to the bank and have them cancel all the auto payments.
I did.
All right. And the auto bills, right?
I said, the only problem is I'm going to contact these companies. I don't have account numbers.
They'll send the bill now, because if it's not auto payments, just go back to the bank.
Paper bill?
Yeah, go back to the bank and just tell them that you make sure that it's not e-bills. Turn off all the e-bills too.
I don't know if they can do that.
They can.
Nobody can unlock. No, I was in the bank for 4 hours this week. But they cannot. I was on the phone with them yesterday for over almost 2 hours. And your bill pay profile is blocked. It's blocked. And the lady was helping me. She's talking to corporate. She's like, this is ridiculous. This woman has power of attorney. She's supposed to be able to act on his behalf. And I can't see your bill payments. I can't see what bills you have set up. They were able to disable all of the automatic bills. But that's all they could do to help me, so I have to finish detective work.
All right.
Yeah.
Everything else all right? I'm going to try to shower now.
Yeah. And you have to shower during your 3 hours?
Yeah. Everything on my 3 hours.
I think that was his wife. A lot of talk about cancel all the auto pays, the bills. She paid a bill that was negative that he didn't want paid because she didn't know. She says we can't get into your accounts. She did ask about the car, what kind of car it was, and said it was an Audi. So the wife knows about the car that he has for his mistress.
Did you have an opportunity to listen to a phone call, a recorded call from January 27th of 2019?
I did.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as S400, showing to counsel.
He did say, I want us to be together when I get out
Do you
of here.
recognize this?
Yes.
And what is that?
It's a transcript of the call from January 27, 2019, call number 121.
Okay, and did you review that transcript against the phone call?
I did.
Did it fairly and accurately depict the phone call?
Yes.
She can keep that. Judge, the state would seek permission to pass out the transcripts and approach.
Yes.
January 2021. Didn't this happen February 24th? So this is the following January? Allie B from Tennessee, hope you guys are safe and warm and have power. Lots of people in Tennessee don't. That's right, February 24th was the au pair. I'm mixing up our trials. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Judge. I think you can call the jurors have a chance.
Okay, go ahead.
This call will be monitored and recorded. Press 1 for queuing to join call. Please enter your phone number at the tone.
Allie B, you are an OG, 32 months.
Clearly state your first and last name after the tone. Please enter your 4-digit private. Thank you for using Global Link. Your call is being processed. Hello? This is a Global Link prepaid call from
Paul Caneiro.
an inmate at the Monmouth County Correctional Facility. This call will be monitored and recorded. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To hear the cost of this call, press 9 now. To accept this call, press 0 now. To decline this call.
Hello? Hey. Hey, what's up? Nothing much. I saw you at the phone again.
No, doesn't come every day, huh? Hello?
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
So let's see, what do you want to?
I'm just leaving my lectures for a week. I'm working tomorrow.
Oh, yeah? How's the concert the other night?
It was so fun. Really good.
What was it?
I said it was really fun. It was Osborne.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, country man.
Yeah.
Got John to stay a little longer.
Oh, yeah? I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. It was fun.
Where's that?
New York City?
Oh, on the pier?
No five? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Where's your Where's Mom going?
Yeah. She's right here. Listen to her.
How's your haircut?
Good. I'm blonde again.
Yeah? Katie's in dark hair. Mom, the world's upside down.
How are you?
Oh, I'm alright. I'm alright. I'm in a new area now. Kind of.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
Yeah. So,
Stay busy.
I'm trying.
Good.
All right, sweetie. I love you.
Alright, I love you too. Good night.
Thanks.
Hello?
Hi. Can you ask Tiffany to send me some more science fiction, just science fiction?
Science fiction?
Yeah. Or fiction, I don't care. I just don't want anything heavy. I can't concentrate.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my last 2 books.
Okay. Is she on the list?
Yeah, she can give us something out. Just tell her to pick science fiction. Tell her to send me, 2 right away and then 2 in a couple of days.
Okay.
And then, 2 in another couple of days. If I don't, if you don't hear from me.
Okay.
I think he's asking for books to read, science fiction books.
How are you? What's going on? Okay, what's like 3 days we can talk. Oh, I'm sorry, Charlie.
portions of these calls are redacted.
What day are they coming to the house? Or you didn't set that up yet?
They didn't set that up yet. The woman, Sherry, her name is, she's supposed to call me.
Right.
And set something up. So I'm sure we'll have it. Let's see. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks. I'd like to see if Ed was able to get me new insurance.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Who's working on it?
Yeah, I'm sure he took care of it.
Yeah, I didn't find anything, so not done yet.
Have you heard from my dad?
No.
No? What about Corey?
Well, I'm supposed to call him by.
Yeah. What do you have to say?
Not much.
No?
I went to the bank again.
Okay.
If you couldn't help me again, I have to go back again tomorrow, Monday.
Why couldn't we help you?
I have the power of attorney on the kids' room for the businesses.
Right.
And for whatever reason, they're not working on my phone, online. So she was going to help me put them on the online access and get things like administrative, finance, and whatnot.
Right.
And I went there on Saturday to do it, but only 2 of the accounts came through. The other 2 didn't show up, so we had to call online banking. And online banking had a hour and 40-minute wait time. So she had to come back on Monday and Saturday. Thank you about that.
Find out also if you, how would I give you power of attorney to the trust account? For me.
The trust account at TD Bank?
Yeah.
In the trust account there?
Yeah. It's, Tiffany.
Is it in your name?
No. It's, it's linked to my account, so they can see it. I'm the trustee, but I want to give you access to my bank. Just find out. She can look it up by my social security number.
I'm pretty sure I can't get that.
Well, just find out. It might be.
I'm pretty sure there's already something that I can't get anything on that.
All right. Well, just ask.
I'll ask again.
Yeah.
I'll ask again, but I'm pretty sure that that's the one account that I can't get because it's a trust. It's not a bank account.
Right.
So, the power of attorney does everything for it.
Well, I don't see why not. If you're going to opt in my set, if I'm physically able to. No. That's what I'm saying. Just,
I asked, but I remember talking about those accounts because when we first went over,
they also told you couldn't have access to business accounts, so.
No, that's not true. They said I needed a separate power of attorney to get business accounts.
All right. Well, let's see.
The trust, they said, is different. They said the trust is different, so.
Well, let's see what they say.
But I'll ask again.
It's only going to be able to write checks or do anything without.
Does Tiffany have that bank account number?
Yeah, but they can, like I said, they can just look it up. It's the only trust account linked to my account.
Okay.
You just look it up. Well, I'm sure they can look up. Just any one of the company accounts will link back to my account. And you can see all the accounts from there. Because, at some point, Corey's got to figure out, or you got to figure out what's going on with Keith's accounts, too. Yep. And that's what that trust is going to let you do, because the trust account is going to give us access to everything. It allows, basically unlocks all the other stuff. Getting everything back, sorted out. So.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Should I call you?
I'll ask again, but that was, totally off the table from the beginning, so I have a feeling it's something.
Well, there's got to be something every time. Yeah. You want me to call you right back?
Sure.
All right, bye.
Tries to get his wife to get access to the trust account. Use my social security number. They can look up the trust account. It's linked to my bank accounts. She'll give you access to everything. That's what's going to give us access to all of everything. To bring everything back. Wife saying, I don't think I can get access to that. I don't think power of attorney gives me access to the trust account. He's like, yeah, well, ask him again. Ask him. Either you or Corey have got to figure out how to get access to Keith's accounts. Defense asked to approach. That sounds awful on that audio call. There was a lot of garbly Charlie Brown teacher stuff in there that I could not make heads or tails of. It sounds like he talked to his wife and his daughters on the phone. He asked about a couple other people. Asked about his dad. Is my dad contact? You talked to my dad? No. He said he can't believe that he is here where he is right now. Can't believe that he's in jail and doesn't want to talk about it. Let's talk about something else. There was a time in there where he said he wants to take a shower. He has to fit his shower and his phone call into the 1 hour out he gets every day. And he's calling on a prepaid phone call, and he's going to recall. So I think he says, you want me to call back? So he's going to call back and continue this conversation. But he's been encouraging his wife over and over to access the trust account that he has had control over to get her. Why does she need access to the trust account unless it's to get money out of there? Yeah. Yes, there's like a nonstop. This trial is sponsored by some candy company. I'm not sure if it's Brock's or who, but nonstop candy unwrapping in this trial. Don't get the big deal. He's a businessman who has to keep everything running somehow. The trust account is needed to pay the employees. He can't use it for the trust account to pay the employees. That's not what the trust account is for. The trust account is for Keith's descendants, his kids, or his brothers if his wife and kids, or his brothers if his wife and kids are dead. But it has to be awarded and dispersed. You have free access to it because they're dead. Yes, heartburn. Thank goodness we can't hear the crunch of hard candy. That's why I wonder if he's got something else. Like if it's a lifesaver and he's just sucking on it, it's dissolving in his mouth. But it shouldn't be that hard to unwrap a lifesaver. You just sort of tear them open and you're done. I should know I ate like a dozen of them yesterday. Didn't he deplete the trust account? He depleted the account that was set up to fund the trust accounts. It was the account set up to pay the insurance policy, that the insurance policy is tied back into the trust account. So you pay the insurance policy, the insurance company pays out when Keith dies, and that money they pay out goes into the trust fund. Then that trust goes to the wife, the kids, and Paul and Corey, respectively, depending on who's still alive. Didn't payroll come out of the trust? I think there was a time way back in the years somebody did that, but that's not supposed to be that way. Possibly Jolly Rancher. How do you suck on a Jolly Rancher and make it go away that fast? Don't they last a little longer than that? Don't think you'd have access to the trust if there was ongoing investigation of where you're a suspect either. Yeah, that's probably also a little flag on the account. Thought there would be a verdict by now, honestly. Candy wrapping opening is nothing compared to my hubby eating crisps. Oh. That was hard to hear. That was really hard to hear. I'm 100% sure it's Smarties. Oh, Meg. That would explain the long, like he's eating them out of the package. He's not like dumping them in his hand and then popping them in his mouth. It also explains some of the coughing when you eat them too fast and get some of the powder in your throat. That would explain some of the coughing. Those are just straight sugar. Sugar and food coloring. Somebody's going to be like get diabetes during this trial. I think it's cough drops. We're approaching 8.5 hours of deliberation. I know my timer is off compared to other people. I think we're closest to Law and Crime's timer. Court TV has been deducting what they believe the lunch hours are over 2 days. I have been leaving it counting because we haven't been told the jury has been going to lunch. And if we don't know that they've gone to lunch separately, they could still be deliberating through lunch if lunch was delivered to them. So we've left them just as total deliberation time as they are set over their own schedule. We also aren't counting the times that people go out to the bathroom and they have to stop deliberating until they come back, or maybe there's a smoke break and they have to stop deliberating until people come back. So the timer is what the timer is. If it were hard candy, wouldn't we hear the candy being moved around in the mouth as it hits the teeth? Yes, I'm Super T, although Red Pen does not want to hear that. But yes, 100%. Maybe they have a bowl of candy in the jury box and they just all are snacking constantly. That's a great idea. Trial is 10 days long, 1 hour per day. Trial isn't long at all for a verdict. Yeah, I agree. I'm not worried right now. I was expecting a faster verdict, but I'm not worried. I'd like to have a verdict before tonight when we're talking about the case, but do tune in to Courtroom Confidential tonight. I'll be on with Josh Ritter about that. It's the first full day of jury. Friday was just getting to know each other. We can Zoom. We can Zoom. I should Zoom. It's just a sidebar, though. Let's see. Let's skip ahead just a teensy bit. Okay, we're done. I zoomed ahead 10 seconds.
Good afternoon, Lieutenant.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
So I want to take a step back and just talk a little bit about your responsibilities in this case. So you are the lead detective from the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office on this case, correct?
For the Colts Neck incident, yes.
And there's kind of like multiple lead detectives, right?
Yes.
And specifically, we have Detective Brady was the lead detective from the Ocean County Police Department.
Ocean Township.
Ocean Township Police Department. And then we have Detective Zarillo, who was the lead detective from the Colts Neck Police Department.
Correct.
And you are one of the lead detectives from the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said for the Colts Neck incident, is there another lead detective for the...
Now Captain Brian Weisbrot, then Detective Weisbrot, was the lead for the Ocean Township.
Okay, so you and Detective Weisbrot were both lead detectives in this case?
Correct.
And when we're referencing the Ocean Township case, we're talking about like the arson?
Correct.
Right? But you were the lead detective. When you say Colts Neck, you're talking about, the homicides that occurred and the arson that occurred at 15 Willowbrook, right?
Yes,
at Keith's house.
Yes, ma'am.
And in addition to you and Detective Brady and Detective Zarillo and Detective Weisbrot, there were a variety of other detectives in this case that had significant responsibilities. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And so Detective Cordoma, for example, was assigned to do the origin and cause of the fire, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And Detective Bassender was assigned to do the financial aspect of the case.
Yes, ma'am.
Detective Miglierisi was assigned to do sort of like digital evidence, things of that nature. And then there's also Detective Hess, Detective Mahoney. They did some neighborhood canvassing and some surveillance and things like that.
Along with others, but yes.
Also, Detective Wayne Rayner, he was involved.
Yes, ma'am.
Detective Condon and Detective Tazi, Detective Sostian, Detective Miller, all of those detectives were involved.
Yes, ma'am.
As well as Detective Robert Flanagan, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And just to be clear, because we heard testimony from a Fire Marshal, Craig Flanagan, earlier in the case, but when we're referencing Detective Robert Flanagan, that's a different person.
Yes, ma'am.
Just same last name, but different person.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And Detective Robert Flanagan is from your office, the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office.
Retired, but yes.
There's also Detective Scott Valenti and Sean Murphy, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
We talked about Weisbrot, but there was a Deputy Chief Wilbert, he was involved.
Retired, but yes.
And Detective Nareth.
Beata Nareth, yes.
Detective David Sidorkis.
David Sidorakis.
Sidorakis
Okay, he's
or
involved?
Sidorakis?
And Detective Kristen DeVito, William Anton, Richard Shin, and Detective Jose Cruz. Are those names familiar as being involved in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And finally, I have a Richard, I'm not sure how to say that last name.
Broccoli?
Yes, that's the one.
Yes.
And Detective Scott Samus. They were also involved?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And, but despite all of them being involved, you were the lead detective, so that meant you were kind of in charge of the investigation, right?
I wouldn't say I was in charge. There's still a hierarchy and in order of chain of command, but...
So is there someone who's in charge of you, who's calling the shots? Or when it came to this case, did you essentially decide what types of investigations to pursue and what roles people should take and what tasks people should be assigned?
Well, there's definitely supervisors that assigned people certain tasks. It was, as far as who was in charge, I think there was a lot of collaboration going on as far as this investigation because there was, like you just mentioned, there's so many people. So it was, a joint effort, but...
Okay. So who was supervising you?
So back then, my immediate chain of command was Sergeant Ed Henley. And Scott Samus.
Okay. All right. So when you were conducting the investigation in this case and coordinating and collaborating with others, you would report back to them as well?
Yeah, that's fair to say, yes.
Okay. And as the lead detective, you were responsible for reviewing a lot of the material in this case, right?
I did, yes.
So that you knew what was going on, right?
Yes.
And so you reviewed things like police reports and reports from other detectives, right, that were involved?
Yes.
And you reviewed, we saw some surveillance video that you reviewed, correct?
Yes.
You were familiar with some additional surveillance video from Cold Snack. Did you review all of the surveillance video in this case?
When you say all of it, I reviewed at least portions of all the video that was collected.
Tell me if I'm wrong. I think what you're saying is other detectives, for example, if they pulled video from, let's say, a location at 27 Tilton, right, or like near that area, and they reviewed maybe hours worth of videos, but they directed you to the most relevant portions for your review. Is that what you're saying?
Both directed, and I also watched myself for relevant times.
Okay, so you watched the relevant times. You didn't necessarily watch times that weren't relevant to your investigation.
Correct.
And but you did watch surveillance videos, for example, from the area of 27 Tilton, Paul's house.
I did.
Okay. And also, did you review some of the body-worn camera footage and the motor vehicle recording footage from Ocean Township and Cold Snack?
Portions of both, yes.
What about, you took a lot of witness statements in this case, right?
Michael, that's awesome. Congratulations.
You were personally involved with the taking of numerous witness statements, and you were present?
Yes.
Okay. And you also, did you review the witness statements that you were not present for?
I would say at least most of them.
Okay. And by the way, the witness statements in this case, we've kind of grown a little bit familiar with them. They're the typed statements, correct?
Yes.
They're not video recorded, right?
The isolation here.
No.
Good to see you here.
Recorded.
Welcome.
No.
And it's in like a question-answer type format, right?
Yes.
We're watching a trial.
And did you also reviewed the cell phone extractions in this case?
Yes.
There were numerous cell phone extractions conducted in this case, right?
Yes.
So let's start with Susan, Marissa, and Katie. Their cell phones were extracted. Did you review their extractions?
Obviously, they're very lengthy, so at the very least, I looked at portions of them.
Portions, like maybe, like you said, more relevant portions, time frames.
Correct.
For example, the 19th and the 20th would probably be a relevant time frame in this case.
Yeah.
Of November 2018. And there were also cell phone extractions done for Tiffany Rivera, is that right?
Yes.
Elisa, Caneiro, or Bertacci. There were...
Skip's on the isolation channel. It's a channel I recently was...
done for Mr. Paul Caneiro and his brother Keith Caneiro.
It's a good channel.
And also, there was a variety of Google Cloud data that was received from Keith's Google Cloud, correct?
Yes.
That was, I guess, subpoenaed from Google. Is that right?
CDW, or Communications Data.
It was requested by law enforcement through a legal application.
Yes, ma'am.
And there were also there's a lot of financial records in this case, right? There's like thousands of pages of financial records. You're aware of that?
I am.
Now, did you personally review those financial records, or did you just rely on Detective Bassender to kind of synthesize them and point you in the direction of what she felt was relevant?
Do you want to speed her up one more?
I relied on Detective Bassender.
Okay.
Should I speed it up one more?
What about the physical evidence in this case? Did you review, did you personally observe some of the, we had the opportunity to see a lot of the physical evidence in this case, whether it was a gas can or gloves or clothes, things of that nature. Did you review that evidence?
She's going to be talking
Same
really
thing.
fast.
I relied, obviously, on the forensic detectives to do that. Some I did witness firsthand, some, during the course of preparation or something, but every single piece, no.
So and when you say you relied on, are you referencing Detective Vogt and Detective Catalona?
Primarily, yes.
They were the, forensic crime scene detectives, right? And Vogt was the lead crime scene detective from Polsnack, and Catalona was the lead crime scene detective from Ocean, right?
Correct.
And so they might have brought some things to your attention, but they also took a lot of photographs, correct?
They did.
So did you review a lot of the photographs in this case?
A lot.
Now, we talked about how there's a lot of detectives involved in this case from your office, right? But there's also a lot of other agencies that were involved in this case, right? And so those include, we talked about Polsnack Township, and we talked about Ocean Township, right?
Yes.
But there was also, at some point, the Asbury Park Police were involved with respect to the business location when there was a search of that location, correct?
They were.
And there's also the Burlington County Prosecutor's Office was involved for a little while with respect to a phone extraction.
Correct.
Paul's phone, right? Also, the Monmouth County Sheriff's Department was involved to an extent.
Yes, ma'am.
And the New Jersey State Police were involved.
Yes, ma'am.
The FBI was involved at some point.
Yes, ma'am.
And the ATF, which is the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, another federal agency, was involved.
Yes, ma'am.
And then there were many, many fire departments, right?
Many, yes.
So throughout this case, and throughout, I think, even in your report, there's a reference to the investigative team in this case. Is that all-encompassing, essentially, all of the people I just mentioned, or maybe a focus on some of the detectives at the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office? Who's the investigative team?
I would agree that would be the investigative team. Anybody that had any involvement would be part of the team.
And you said it was collaborative, right? So there was a lot of meetings with each other, conferring and updating each other and talking about various aspects of what's been investigated?
Yeah, so at least in the very beginning, there was briefings that we would hold to meet either before or after the day to go over what was done, what needs to be done, that type of thing.
Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that stand out in this case that I'm going to ask you about what investigation was done.
Okay.
So, for example, we heard that about, and you interviewed, or you're aware that Jonathan Harrington and Heather Kapp were interviewed very early on in this case, correct?
I am aware that they were interviewed, yes.
Okay. And so what, if any, investigation was done to look into the two men with the baseball caps at 4:30 in the morning?
What went into it? No, that's overruled. Go ahead.
What investigation was done to look into that?
What, specifically to them? I wasn't part of the investigation really at all in Ocean Township. That was then Detective Weisbrot. So as far as the specific goes, I know that they interviewed neighbors, other neighbors, the firefighters conducted their interviews, pulled the surveillance, that type of thing.
Okay, so when we talk about the surveillance, and you indicated that you reviewed the surveillance.
Portions of it, yes.
That one or yours? Oh, this one. Sorry, come on.
Somebody just tooted.
So I'm going to show you what's already been published. It's D1-101. And this is, do you recognize this as a map of the area of 27 Tilton?
I do.
Okay, so 27 Tilton would be here in the middle of the photograph, and it's denoted as 27 Tilton, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you ever go to the area? You were there at some point?
I was there at some point, yes.
Okay, and you see how 27 Tilton is a U-shape, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it intersects with Green Grove Road, correct?
Yes.
So the video that you saw, right, tell me if I'm wrong, was of a vehicle in the area of 27 Tilton, or originating from the driveway of 27 Tilton, and driving this way and then making a right onto Green Grove Road, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But just to be clear, there were no surveillance videos ever obtained from this side of 27 Tilton, correct?
I don't know the There was none that I saw, and I don't know if there was any available at that time either.
Right. Well, so we have in this area at least two or three different surveillance videos from houses just on this side of the street, just on this one road, correct?
The two that I reviewed were from there, yes.
Okay. And so, as the lead detective in this case, I know you're saying Detective Weisbrot was the lead detective of the arson out of 27 Tilton, right? But in the bigger picture of investigating the quadruple homicide and the double arson, at any point did you say to anyone, since it's very collaborative, hey, why don't we check for surveillance video over here? Let's go door to door, let's document it, and let's see what, if any, surveillance video we can find to see if anyone went this way from 27 Tilton at 4:30 in the morning and drove away this way at this intersection.
So I also know that there is another surveillance camera I neglected to say that I did look at was the 19 Oxford from behind. But I also do know that there was a surveillance canvas done, as we always do, in all directions. I don't know off the top of my head to articulate which houses were checked, whether they had cameras, whether the cameras didn't show anything. And I'm not that familiar with the Ocean Township canvas as far as the surveillance. But I do know that a surveillance canvas was done.
Okay. A surveillance canvas was done. And you mentioned 19 Oxford. That's right here behind 27 Tilton, correct?
Correct. I don't know specifically which house it is, but it's behind.
It's on this side of the road, and you can see the back of 27 Tilton, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So you're telling us that you know a canvas was done,
yes.
Right? But there's no documentation of anywhere of anyone saying, any of the detectives, many police officers saying, okay, we went to this house and this house and this house and this house and this house. Judge, this is what.
Can I see everyone, please?
Judge calls a sidebar. What the defense is trying to do here is show that it could have been someone else who drove the bottom area of that U-shaped street. It might not have been Paul's car, right? It might not have been his Porsche. It could have been someone else that came in the bottom side and just drove around that time. The witness says, oh, but I also watched the video from the house behind. We got to see that Paul's headlights come on in the driveway. It's consistent with him backing up and pulling out that direction, and the timestamps match up. So it's a nothing burger. The defense is trying to make it look like this was not Paul. This is not proof that Paul drove away at that time and would have been there to cut the power. Could have been anybody, but in reality, we've got some pretty solid proof that the vehicle that headed that direction at that time was in Paul's driveway. Hearts, welcome to the gallery. New member, thank you very much. I love the green courthouse by your name. Let's see. You can zip ahead as well.
For lunch.
Okay. I think we're going to lunch.
I sound better in the dark where you can't see me. So, it's better for the people in the back, they can't see me. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break you for lunch now. There's one legal issue I just wanted a few minutes to discuss with the attorneys. I'm also going to be extra generous today. I'm going to extend the lunch to 1:35.
Ooh.
It's not by much.
Why,
so, but I want to be able to talk to the attorneys afterwards. We'll do 1:40. We'll come back, and then we're going to continue on until we're done with it today. Okay? So don't discuss this case. Don't do any research. And I hope you have a nice lunch. Thank you all.
Okay, they're going to go to lunch here in just a second. We slowed it down to 1.25 speed for this legal issue. Let me see if we can get to that really quickly.
The attorneys to confer, and I'll see everybody at 1:30 so that we can. Okay, I'll ask for the attorneys to confer, and I'll see everybody at 1:30 so that we can get started and go over this last issue. Thank you.
Okay, so I don't know how long it took for that to happen, but 1:30, we're going to skip ahead. There was nothing that we got to hear there. Skipping ahead, we're still on catch up on this one because this trial was going on during the au pair trial. So lunch is over right about here.
Listen, you guys got to hold me accountable.
Yeah, you got a lot to deal with. It's all good.
That's my fault. Next time I'm standing.
Dana Grand Jury.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to allow everyone to sit down before we get started. So let's just give everyone a minute.
8 hours and 47 minutes of deliberation so far on the au pair trial. That's a live video in the corner.
Okay, Ms. Messelon, when you're ready.
So,
this is continuing cross-examination. Same witness.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
We left off with we were looking at a map of the area of 27 Tilton, and we were discussing surveillance video, and I'm going to get back to that in a moment. But I wanted to first take a step back. You mentioned and you explained that this was a very collaborative approach, right? There's a lot of different investigators handling different aspects of the case, and all of the detectives you guys were having meetings, and you're in contact, and you're discussing the various moving parts of this case, correct?
Yes.
And one of the things that comes with that method is information is coming in, in let's say piecemeal, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the circumstances. Sometimes you get it right away. Sometimes it might come later at a briefing.
Let me ask a better question. That wasn't phrased very well. So what I'm asking is this: it's not like you start the investigation on November 20th, and on November 21st you have all of the information, all of the evidence today, right?
No.
There's ballistics, and there's arson, and there's DNA, and there's canvassing, looking for surveillance videos. There's financial aspect to the case, and so as time moves forward, more and more information is learned. Correct?
Yes. Sometimes information is relayed right away. Sometimes I'm present for it. Sometimes, somebody would call. Sometimes it takes a while for lab stuff. So, yeah, throughout the entirety of the investigation, you continuously learn more information.
Right. And for example, if you subpoena something or you get a warrant for something, records, documents, information of some sort, maybe sometimes they respond in a day, but probably usually it takes a few weeks or it takes a few months or something along those lines, right?
Fair to say, yes.
And in this particular case, we're talking about November 2018, right?
Yes.
The investigation didn't stop in November of 2018. It continued, correct?
Absolutely.
And it continued for several months, right?
Yes.
And even several years.
Yes.
Additional information was learned in 2019, 2020, 2021 even, right?
Yeah, the investigation really never stops.
It never stops, right? So more information is learned. And in this case, we know that, so when you learn information, you meaning universal you of law enforcement, the detectives, the investigation team, you're obviously relaying that information to the prosecutors, right?
Most of the time.
Who are handling the case.
Yeah.
And then you know that they then relay the information to the defense, right?
That's the way I understand it works, yes.
It's the process of discovery, right? I mean, you're not calling me directly saying, hey, this is what we learned today, right? You're talking to them because you worked in the same office, correct?
Correct.
DSN, thank you.
It's not your job to tell me what's happening. You know that the state tells the defense, right? Object to relevance.
I'll allow it, but not for long. Go ahead.
My only point, sir, is simply that as information is learned, you're learning it, they're learning it, and then we learn it, right?
I'm aware of the discovery process. You're correct. I don't discuss any facts or circumstances with you or information. Everything is done through the prosecutor, so yes.
Okay. And now, going back to 27 Tilton, if I could have the front table again. So we've seen this map, right? The only question I have left for you is, can you've reviewed the reports in this case, you've collaborated, right? Can you point us to any report that talks about anyone canvassing these specific houses, house by house, and what the results were, whether contact was made, whether that house had any surveillance cameras, or anything along those lines?
As I sit here, I cannot point to any specific thing other than saying that I know a canvass was done of the entire area. I can't point to any particular report as I sit here now, but I know a canvass was done of the area.
And when you say you know a canvass was done, are you talking about you know that it was done generally? You don't know the specifics of what houses went to and what the results were, correct?
I don't know the details of every single house that was gone to, whether they had cameras, whether the cameras showed anything or not. I don't have that information.
You don't have that information, but you also can't point us to anywhere where it would tell us, right?
As I sit here, no, I've not.
Now, you said you did review the surveillance video, the relevant surveillance videos in this case, correct?
Portions of them, yes.
Okay. And so you've seen the surveillance videos of the Porsche Macan, right, leaving the driveway, right?
Yes.
And turning, as we said, right onto Green Grove Road, right?
Yes.
And then you've seen the surveillance videos where there's a car. You can't really tell exactly what kind of car it is. It's car 20 minutes later arriving in the area of 15 Willowbrook,
I'm going to
correct?
object to the testimonial nature of that question. You can't tell what kind of car it was. It's facts that are in evidence that are being asserted.
I'll rephrase that.
Yeah,
the video is not as clear, perhaps, as the 27 Tilton video, or the videos that were taken from the area of 27 Tilton, but there's a vehicle that arrives in the area of 15 Willowbrook 20 minutes later, correct?
There is a vehicle that arrived. That video is not as clear, but as I detailed in my report, the taillights are consistent with that of a Porsche Macan.
Okay. And so we're talking about a 20-minute difference, right, timeline-wise?
20 minutes being from surveillance on Green Grove to surveillance on Willowbrook.
Right, because we know from the surveillance video that the vehicle is leaving the area of 27 Tilton at approximately 2:07 a.m., right?
Correct.
And then we know that there's a vehicle arriving in the area of the area of 15 Willowbrook or 44 Willowbrook is where we're getting surveillance for the video from at approximately 2:27 a.m., correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, but what we don't have is any videos, any surveillance videos that would follow the car from point A to point B, correct?
The only other video that we have is that 85 Willowbrook down the street, but between that, we do not have video.
When you say 85 Willowbrook, you're talking it's right down the street from 15 Willowbrook, right?
Down the street, yes.
But we don't have any video in between, so we don't know, for example, the exact route that the car traveled, right?
The exact route, no.
We don't know if the car stopped anywhere, correct?
When I did the presumed route, or possible route, I should say, it was 20 minutes. Basically, it was 20 minutes between point A and point B, meaning Tilton and Willowbrook. And that's the time from 2:07 to 2:27. So timing-wise, it's consistent.
You personally drove the route, is that what you're saying?
I did not personally drive the route.
Oh, okay, so what are you referencing when you say it's approximately 20 minutes?
As I detailed in my report, I went on Google Maps and did a route from 27 Tilton to 15 Willowbrook.
Okay, we know from real life experience, sometimes it could be faster, sometimes it could be slower, correct?
Yeah, it's approximately 20 minutes.
Right, so what we don't know is whether the car, for example, was speeding, right? And maybe got there, maybe it only took 17 minutes, but it stopped for 3 minutes. That's my point, is we don't know what exactly happened from point A to point B, correct?
No, it's an approximation.
Right, and we don't know if the vehicle stopped and someone got in the car or anything like that, or out of the car. We don't have that information.
Sustained.
So,
somebody took his car.
with respect to surveillance video at the area of 15 Willowbrook. I'm going to show what's been published as it's D1-317. Okay, so the video that we have of the vehicle arriving in the area of 15 Willowbrook, right? When the vehicle arrives at approximately 3:27 or so in the morning, it's driving from the
2:27.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2:27. Yes, from 2:27, from the right side of the screen to the left side of the screen. Correct?
Arriving from the right side of the screen to the left. Yes.
It's going from right to left.
Correct.
And is that east to west, or is that west to east?
East to west.
It's going east to west. Okay. And when what you don't see is the vehicle pulling into the driveway. Correct?
No, ma'am.
And so the vehicle goes past the driveway, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the vehicle, we don't know where it goes after that, right?
There was no surveillance on the further west of the property. 44 Willowbrook is where the surveillance stopped.
Right. So like we don't know if the vehicle stopped on the side of the road here. We don't know if it pulled into this driveway. We don't know if it kept going. We just don't know.
Well, based on the review of the 867, I didn't see any lights up towards the driveway. Again, the video doesn't get clear, but I also didn't see any lights up towards that way. So I don't.
Which video are you referring to?
867 Route 34.
Okay, yeah, let's look at 867. You can just leave. So this is a still frame of the 867 view, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and what are we looking at exactly? We're looking from the direction of the 867 structure toward Willowbrook, and that's the gate that you were referencing?
So that's the gate. So 15 Willowbrook would be more or less in the top. I'm looking at the screen, the top right, and that would be the driveway, and it would start, but it would go more towards the northwest direction, so up and towards the left of the screen.
So I guess what I'm asking is, I'm just going to hold this up. May I approach?
Of course.
Okay, so we're looking at this map here, right? And this is 867?
That's a barn that's on the property, but yes.
Where's 867? Is it
the actual
here?
residence is down.
Down more, okay. And this here is the long driveway that comes down from Willowbrook Road, correct?
Correct.
So the view that we're seeing...
Up the driveway, basically.
Okay, but we can't see this long driveway on that video, correct?
No.
Okay, and the angle is facing this way, is what you're saying?
Correct.
Up? Is the gate visible here, or is it down further?
The gate would be right about there.
Here?
Correct.
Okay. And it doesn't, correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't appear that we can see too far past that gate, right?
No, I wouldn't be able to tell how far past that gate you can see.
Okay. Did you get a daytime view by any chance?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you only have the nighttime view?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm gonna... Actually, other button. Before we unplug that, can we capture that?
This is not marked. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, we just pulled up the video.
That's fine. So, all right, so we're going to mark this. Mr. Murray, what's your next exhibit? Do you know?
So this is going to be a photo exhibit?
Yeah.
This is going to be D1-421.
All right. So just so that we're on the same page here, can you circle where the gate is? Okay. And do you know where specifically the camera was located on the property?
Can you bring that up a little bit? It's my understanding that it was...
Hold on, wait. Circle that gate again. And then let me see if I can zoom out.
It was on the barn to the left that you barely see at the top there.
Okay. Can you just put like an X where you think the camera is approximately? Okay. And so if a vehicle pulled into this little side, like right here in the beginning of that driveway, we can't see that on the video that we just saw, correct?
I don't know if you would be able to see it. If a vehicle pulled straight down, I don't know without seeing a car do that whether or not I could see it.
Okay. You don't know whether, looking at that frame that we just saw, you'd be able to see a car like here at the entrance of this driveway?
No, without anything to reference, I wouldn't be able to say you could or couldn't see it.
Okay. And you never got a daytime view to see what exactly you could see?
No, ma'am.
All right, so that is 317.5. Lieutenant, do you mind just undoing that? Thank you, sir.
By the way, if you keep going left, I think you testified about this on direct, but maybe like a little bit further down, there's you could make a left onto 34.
Left or right, but yes.
Left or right. Okay. But if you made a left, you'd be going back toward Ocean Township.
I don't know if I would say that.
Didn't you get surveillance video from a BP gas station?
Yes.
Okay. And the purpose of getting the surveillance video from the BP gas station was to see if you could see the McCann, right, the Porsche driving past it on Route 34 to see which route the McCann took, correct?
Well, we pull video to see if there's anything of relevance, first of all. But second of all, that would have been once we pulled it, that would have been one of the things we were looking to ascertain was if we could see the vehicle.
Okay, and you didn't see the McCann on the BP gas station video, correct?
The video was not of clarity that I would be able to tell any video, but I did not see anything that I felt was consistent with it, no.
Okay. There was nothing, in your opinion, of evidentiary value, correct?
On that camera, no.
But there were cars driving past the gas station during this relevant time frame, right?
There was.
Okay. And those cars were not of interest to you. Tell me if I'm wrong. Those cars were not of interest to you because they didn't appear to look like the McCann, or is there some other reason why those cars were not of interest to you?
I did not see any car that resembled the Porsche Macan.
And like you said, in the videos we do have of 867, we don't suddenly see like headlights or anything like that, right?
I did not see anything on that video when I reviewed it.
When you reviewed it, right? So if you don't see headlights and the car's driving, would you agree that that would either mean you can't see it on the video, where the car had to stop before them?
Objection, it's speculation.
It is.
It is.
Because there's more ways than just those two.
Yep.
Are there other ways that...
The judge said yes, so you better say yes.
I'm not sure.
Come on up. I'll tell you exactly what I meant.
Come on up. Let me educate you in lawyering 101, says the judge. Come on up. We're going to skip ahead as we can. How long this lesson lasts, I don't know.
I hate that. I apologize. First of all, I apologize to juror number 5 because I know how much I hate that. I apologize. Number 2, the only thing that I ask, I realize it gets boring when we're at the sidebar, but everything's being picked up, so if you guys are too loud, then I don't know if they're picking up everything the way that they should be here. So I just ask if you don't mind. You can chat. I get it. Just if you guys can just keep it down for me a little bit, I'd really appreciate that. All right.
Judge chides the
With
jurors.
that being said, Ms. Massalone, I'm going to allow you to rephrase your question.
Okay. Tell me if I'm wrong. Your investigation, right, pursuant to your investigation where there's video of this vehicle that you deem relevant, right, because it arrives in the area at a specific time, and you Google mapped it, the investigative belief is that the vehicle is somewhere in this area at that time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, moving on to 15 Willowbrook area. There was no 911 call ever placed that night from 15 Willowbrook, correct?
From 15 Willowbrook? No.
Right. Like, in other words, there was no 911 call that originated from Keith's phone, correct?
No.
No 911 call that ever originated from Jennifer's phone?
No.
And neither of the children either, correct?
No.
But you've been to 15 Willowbrook, correct?
I have.
And you're familiar with the layout, right? Of the area?
Of the area, yes.
And of like the general area of the house?
Yes.
And so we've seen photos, and perhaps you'd agree that the master bedroom has like a sliding glass door.
I don't remember the sliding glass door specifically, but I wouldn't argue with you.
Do you recall that there's like a balcony outside of the master bedroom on the second floor?
Actually, I don't without seeing a picture of it.
Do you recall whether the master bedroom is essentially right over the area of where Keith Caneiro's was found? Can I?
Where Keith's body was found in the yard?
Yes.
No.
I'm showing what's been already published as D1-283. Lieutenant, do you recognize this area that I'm pointing to? It's the two, like the sliding glass door on the second floor as the master bedroom of the house?
I believe you are correct, yes.
Okay. And I misspoke. I meant, so there were shell casings found approximately in this area here?
No.
No.
The shell casings were found further up to the, you're essentially looking at the southwest corner of the house. The shell casings were found to the northwest.
Can you see in the photograph where the shell casings were found?
No.
You can't see that at all?
No.
Okay. Either way, there were no 911 calls placed that night, correct?
From this residence? No.
Yeah, that's what and Jennifer Caneiro, her phone was never found, correct?
Correct.
And so obviously the information from it was never extracted.
Correct.
And we know that there was a lot of sifting through debris in this case. There was removal of debris and more sifting, extensive searches, and the phone was never located, correct?
It was not.
Now, obviously, if we had the phone, right, if we were able to do an extraction, there's a lot of information that could have been learned, right?
From the phone.
Objection, speculation.
I'll rephrase the question.
Yeah, please.
We know generally a phone extraction contains a lot of information about the phone, correct? Just generally.
It generally contains information.
Right.
I don't know.
We heard testimony. It can contain text messages and calls and internet searches and applications and when it's in use and things of that nature, right?
Potentially, if it's able to be extracted, yes.
Right. If there's a successful extraction, there's categories of information that could be learned, right?
Potentially, yes.
Okay. And without the phone, you obviously can't do that, right?
No.
But what you can do is you can subpoena or get a warrant or something for phone records, correct?
We could, yes.
And phone records do not provide as much information as an extraction would, right?
Not even close.
Not even close, okay. But what it does tell us, right, is more basic information, like when calls are placed, when calls are received, when text messages are sent, and when text messages are received, correct?
It does, yes.
Like, it doesn't give you, it might not give you the content, but it'll give you this basic timeline of information,
If
right?
they're using, if those messages are using self-connection, yes, versus data connection.
Okay, and there's also applications that wouldn't register in a phone record, correct?
Correct.
For example, if you're using WhatsApp, right, that's not going to show up in your Verizon, T-Mobile, or AT&T phone records, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so my only point is that phone records contain records of when a text message, normal text messages, are sent and received, as well as phone calls, correct?
Yes.
But also, you can obtain cell site information, correct?
Yes.
And what that means is that if the phone is being used, or not necessarily actively used, but if it's receiving information, if there's data, like if a text message is received or a phone call is received, that can bounce off of a cell tower, correct?
If the phone is powered on and in proper working order, you can get cell tower information.
Okay, right. Let's agree that the phone would have to be on, right? And if the phone is on, phone records can be helpful because they can tell us the general vicinity of where the phone is, correct?
It gives you cell tower information.
It doesn't tell you the exact location of the phone, right? But if a phone, it can tell you whether a phone is perhaps in a totally different town or a few towns over, correct?
If it's hitting off, whatever tower it's hitting off, it would tell you where that tower is, yes.
Right, like generally speaking.
Yes.
It's like there's like a circle or a U around the area, right? Something to that effect.
Yeah, so.
Okay. And so in this case, though, phone records for Jennifer Caneiro's phone were never obtained, correct?
They were not.
So we don't know whether the phone was on or off, right?
As I sit here, no.
And we don't know whether the phone traveled anywhere, correct?
I don't know.
And we also know that Jennifer Caneiro's phone was not found at Mr. Paul Caneiro's house, right?
It was not.
And since we're on the topic of applications of text messaging type applications that aren't your traditional text message, you did have the opportunity to review Keith Caneiro's cell phone extraction, correct?
I did.
And so you know that Keith Caneiro had a variety of chat applications on his phone that were not traditional text messaging, correct?
I know he had WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. That's only two that, off the top of my head, I recall.
Okay, and I can show you this if it'll refresh your recollection, but I can try asking you and maybe you'll remember. If not, I'll show it to you. Do you recall that he also had Snapchat?
I don't recall seeing that.
Okay, I'm going to show you. going to show you what's being marked as D127. Can I mark?
Sure.
Do you recognize this as a Celebrate extraction report?
I do.
Okay. I'm just going to have you flip through it.
They're both monstrosities, Bill. That's candy number 82 consumed during this trial.
So, does that help refresh your recollection that on Keith Caneiro's Google phone, because he didn't have an iPhone, right?
He did not.
He had like a Google-based phone.
He had a Google phone, yes.
On his phone, he had Snapchat, which is listed as number 2 on the front page.
Well, I don't actually see anything that indicates, other than that it's a Google Android generic extraction report, I don't see anything specific to Keith Caneiro on this report.
So when you pull an extraction report, it doesn't always give you that information on the face page, does it? I can pull up the actual extraction if that'll help. Or do you want to accept that that's his phone?
I've always seen that front page, and then there's other content that you can determine. I'm just telling you from what I see right here, there's nothing on here that specifically says this is Keith Caneiro's extraction report.
I understand it doesn't say that. I can pull up the actual extraction on my laptop for you to view, if that'll make you feel more comfortable. Or do you want to accept that this is from his phone?
I accept it. I'm just letting you know that I don't actually see anything.
Okay, but it does say Google Android phone at the top. It does. Generic, right? And we know that he was the individual in this case that had the Google phone, right?
Correct.
Okay, so he had Snapchat, right?
That is an application, yes.
And he had Instagram, number 4.
Yes.
And he had, looks like Google Hangouts, right?
Yes.
Google Plus.
Yes.
We flip to the next page. The following page. He has Google Duo. It's number 11.
Yes.
Number 12 is he has Signal.
Ooh, little motion in court there.
And number 13 is WhatsApp.
Yes.
Somebody bumped to the camera.
And then it looks like number 14 is just it's just called Messenger.
Yes.
And 16 is Google Hangouts.
Yes.
Okay. So can we agree, and obviously you had the opportunity to look at Keith Caneiro's phone, correct?
I did.
But these are examples of messaging applications that would be, at least some of these would be encrypted, correct?
Some of them are, yes.
Like when you go on the extraction, you can't see the messages from WhatsApp, right?
No, I believe you can.
On Keith Caneiro's phone?
Yes.
What about Signal? Can you see the messages from Signal?
I don't know, but I also don't remember seeing any messages on his phone with Signal either.
Okay. So, if Detective McLeese testified that we don't have that information, is he wrong, or are you certain that this information is on Keith's phone?
That there's WhatsApp information?
Like the actual content of these messages?
There was chats that I believe I saw on WhatsApp.
Okay. Can we agree that there are messaging applications on his phone that we don't have the content of those messages?
I can say that I don't recall seeing any Snapchat or Signal or anything like that.
Okay.
She's frustrated.
So if those applications were in use, right? If Signal or WhatsApp or Snapchat, for example, were in use during the relevant time frame, we wouldn't know what was said.
I don't know that for sure.
You don't know whether we would know what was said?
Objection, yes, and answer.
Can you come on up, please?
Judge says, front and center. Let's skip ahead. We're going 5 seconds at a time here. Judge is making its ruling. And it should end here in just a second. This is a long one.
I'll give you more.
And the jury just left. Looks like we get another 15-minute break. So let's... There's been a little motion. Well, while we have this break, let me just tell you, there's been a tiny bit of motion. Someone has bumped the camera in the au pair trial and then put it back. Shook just a little bit. And then we have word that in about half an hour, the court is, and this comes from Court TV's Insider, there's somebody that says the court is going to check on the jury and just, I guess, make sure they're there or still alive or something. I don't know. They're just going to do a quick, they can't ask how's the deliberation going, right? But they can ask, would you like to continue or be done at 4? If they are done at 4, we might be a ways from being all the way complete. But anyway, welfare check on the jury is what we have going on. So let's skip ahead a wee bit, shall we?
All right, we're ready to continue. Ms. Massalone, when you're ready.
We're ready. Break time's over.
Lieutenant, you do recall that cell phone extractions sometimes take a little while to load, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so while Keats is loading, I'm going to ask you about Katie Caneiro's cell phone extraction. Okay. So Katie is Mr. Caneiro's daughter, correct?
Yes.
And the morning of November 20th, 2018, right? You weren't at 27 Tilton, correct?
I was not.
But you were made aware who was there, right? As far as Mr. Paul Caneiro and his family?
Yes.
Okay. And in Katie's cell phone extraction, which you said you reviewed the relevant time frames of like November 20th, right?
I reviewed a portion of her phone, yes.
Okay. So in her call log for the morning of November 20th, 2018, between the hours of 9:37 a.m. and 12:53 p.m., so we're talking about a little more than a 3-hour time frame, Katie Caneiro placed 21 phone calls to either Keith or Jennifer Caneiro, correct?
I don't know that for sure. I would have to look at the extraction to say for sure.
Okay, I'm going to...
We're actually at 81 on judicial displeasure counts. We have 5 today. And
do you recognize that document as an extraction report?
Yes.
Okay. And in this report, if you want to read through it, it has, you can see the context of who's being called and who's calling, correct?
To and from, yes.
Right, so for example, you can see calls to Aunt Jen, and you can see calls to Uncle Keith's home, right? You can see those calls being placed.
Yes.
Okay. And would you accept my representation that there's 21 total calls, or do you want to count them?
Again, there's no details because it just says outgoing or missed. It doesn't have the actual other side of it, so it says who it's going to. So once again, you're saying that this is Paul's daughter's phone, but
right. So are you disagreeing that it's Paul's daughter's phone? How about this? Do you see an entry? It's number 8 on the first page.
Okay.
And it says the call is from Dad.
Yes.
Okay. And the phone number is Paul Caneiro's phone number, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if it says if you did phone extractions for Paul's daughters, and in this extraction log there's a call from Dad and it's Paul Caneiro, Does that help you recall that this is a phone extraction from one of his daughters?
Yes.
Okay. The other alternative is I could pull up her phone extraction as well. So do you want to accept that this is Katie Caneiro's phone extraction?
We'll trust that it is.
Okay.
This is the little
And will
petty
you
right there.
also
the
accept
back
my
and forth.
representation that between 9:37 a.m. and 12:53 p.m., there was a total of 21 calls placed to either Keith Caneiro or Jennifer Caneiro.
Without counting them, I would trust that what you're saying is accurate.
So that's 21 calls within a little more than a 3-hour time period, correct?
Yeah.
Now, we know that there were text messages sent from Keith's phone between 3:14 a.m. and 3:18 a.m., correct?
Yes.
And those messages were sent to Paul.
Yes.
And those are regular text messages, so we have them, we know they exist, right?
Yes.
And you've seen them.
Yes.
And one of those text messages indicates that, it's in evidence, we've seen them, that Keith is telling Paul, my power is out, and I'm gonna go check the generator, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And we also know that Keith is found outside on his lawn, right?
Yes.
And we know that there were gunshots at approximately 3:30 in the morning, correct?
I believe in the report said they were around 3:26, but yes.
Okay, we'll get to that. Approximately 3:30 in the morning, maybe including 3:26. There's gunshots, right?
Yes.
So the belief is that Mr. Keith Caneiro was shot at approximately that time, right? On the front lawn.
Yes.
And so there's text messages coming from his phone at around between 3:14 and 3:18 a.m. And then we hear the gunshots at approximately 3:30-ish, right? And he's also in the clothes that he's found in, he's fully dressed, correct?
Yes.
Right, he's wearing like a windbreaker, right?
Yes.
Jacket and a hoodie. There's a hood up.
Yes.
And he had keys and a wallet.
Yes.
And he's wearing pants.
Yes.
Sneakers. And we also know that Paul's phone was plugged in at his house during this time frame, correct?
Yes.
And we know that not just because of the extraction that was performed by Detective Migarisi, but you were personally in contact with Detective Hauger from the FBI, correct?
Yes.
And they confirmed that the phone never left Paul Caneiro's house that night.
Special Agent Hauger said that his phone was connected to a femtocell, basically a personal cell site, from 3:07 in the afternoon till 4:57 in the morning.
And what that means is sometimes when a person has bad cell phone service, the carrier provides them with like their own little self-service.
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay, that's what Detective Hauger explained. And one of the things that was found in this case in the backpack of the Cayenne, right, was what's called a FLIR, correct?
Yes.
You testified about it at the grand jury, right?
Yes.
You're familiar with it.
I know what it is. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm familiar with it, but
If you know what it is, you're familiar with what it is, right?
I've never used it, is my point.
Okay.
These two are going to rumble after recess.
You know what it is. So you know that it is, the FLIR it's like an external application where you plug it into your phone and then you can see like thermal imaging, correct?
From what I understand, yes.
I'm just going to show what I believe has already been published as D1 329. Okay. You've seen this before, correct?
I don't believe I have, no.
Oh, okay. So you haven't seen all of the evidence in this case. You haven't seen the items that were seized from Mr. Caneiro's.
No, as I testified earlier, I've seen some of the evidence in this case, but not every individual piece. I'm aware that this was located, but I don't believe I ever physically saw it.
And you're aware that this piece that sticks out here is what plugs into the phone?
It would make sense to me, yes.
Okay. So can we agree you need a phone to use it?
I would agree, yeah. But I also don't know if it would be any phone either. I don't know if you need to have cell service to it or anything along those lines.
You need a phone.
I would say a device, yes. I don't know if it connects to an iPad, AirPod, I mean, any of those things, or an old phone, or anything like that. I guess my point is I don't know if you actually need a working cellular phone in order to use that device.
Okay. You need something.
You need something.
It's not something that you attach to a gun, for example, is my point.
No.
Or that you can, it's not like goggles, it's not like you're wearing them on your head and you can see.
Look like you can do that.
You testified on direct about the Nest cameras, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you subpoenaed, or was it a subpoena or a warrant?
That was a search warrant.
A search warrant, okay. You got a warrant for the various Nest cameras at Keith Caneiro's house, correct?
Yes.
And you got a response from them?
Yes.
And they provided cameras for the inside of the house. They provided videos for the inside of the house, but not the one from outside.
They provided the response to our search warrant, and that's what they provided, was clips from inside the house.
Right, they did not provide any clips from outside the house?
They did not.
Okay. Did you ever follow up with them to ascertain if it was something that was missed or overlooked, or see if you could get the clips from outside the house?
Their response was that they sent us what they had pursuant to our search warrant.
Okay. That was their initial response, right?
As far as I know, that was the only response.
Okay, because there was no follow-up after that, right?
No, they sent us what they had.
Okay, and you accepted it?
Yes.
It's a couple $100, the player he had. It's plugs in straight to your iPhone or your Android. So pretty cheap. They have some expensive ones that can run into tens of thousands of dollars depending on the resolution you get.
So I'm going to publish, it's been marked as D1-422.
Any objection?
No objection.
This is a notification from Nest to Keith Caneiro, kcaneiro@gmail.com, where it indicates that his side door camera is offline and it was disconnected at 2:52 a.m., correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we do know that the camera was working, right?
Yes.
Surveillance video that you've reviewed outside of 27 Tilton itself, right? So you reviewed video from the area of 27 Tilton from a couple of neighbors' houses, right? I think it was 19 Oxford was one of them.
I looked at 19 Oxford, yes, and Green Grove. I believe there's one more.
And then there was video from 15 Willowbrook, from 44 Willowbrook.
4485, yes.
44 and 85. And then there's also the Wise video that we saw today from Keith's house, correct?
Yes.
Now, in none of those videos can you actually see let's start with the area of 27 Tilton, right? We have videos of the car leaving the area, right?
Yes.
But you can't see who's driving the car. You can't see who's in the car, right?
No.
And you can't see, people around Mr. Caneiro's house getting into the car, or anyone getting into the car. You can't see it. It's too dark, right?
Correct.
Okay. And the videos that we have near the area of 15 Willowbrook, once again, quality's not great. You can't see who's driving that car, right?
We can't see who's driving Paul's Porsche.
You can see it's a person, right? You can see it's a figure. But it's through the frosted garage door, right?
Correct.
So it might not be my guy, right? Might not be my client. We'll hear about the jury welfare check in about 20 minutes in the au pair case. So far, no questions, no updates, no news.
We heard in the jail calls that we heard was from December 5th, correct?
I believe that was the date.
Okay. And that's approximately 1 week after Mr. Caneiro was charged in this case with the murders of his family and the arsons, correct?
Approximately, yes, 6 days.
Okay, so he's calling the office, right, in Asbury Park, and he's speaking to the office manager, Tiffany Rivera.
Yes.
And just 1 moment. We heard in, I believe it was that call, that Corey was involved. He was like getting involved with the businesses, right?
He was helping run the business at that time, yes.
Okay. Corey wasn't an owner of the businesses, right?
As far as I know, no.
As far as you know, because you investigated the case, the businesses were owned by Paul and by Keith, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So,
there's another candy.
From the call, we know that Corey is now at the business with Tiffany Rivera, and he's orchestrating things related to the business.
Yes.
And we also know that in one of these calls, he's speaking to his wife, Susan, right?
Yes.
And there's a point in the call where he says they're having a conversation, and he says he only has an hour, right?
Yes.
During the course of the conversation, she says you have to shower during your free hour, and Paul says, yeah, do everything on my free hour, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so these phone calls that he's making, it's during his hour, right?
At least that particular one.
Okay. And he's talking to his wife, right? And yes. And he's checking in with Tiffany Rivera at the business, right?
Yes.
And he's trying to gauge what's happening, right, with the business.
Yes.
When it comes to Corey Caneiro, you were aware that Corey had knowledge of the trust, right?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
With respect to Corey Caneiro, you're aware through your investigation that Corey Caneiro had knowledge of the trust.
I'm aware that Corey had knowledge of the trust at some point. I don't know when he learned of the trust.
At some point prior to November 20th.
I don't know what his knowledge of that trust was.
So I'm not asking you what his knowledge was. I'm just asking you to confirm that you were aware through your investigation prior to November 20th that Corey Caneiro had knowledge of the trust, that he just had knowledge of it.
I believe that's safe to say, yes. He was on emails that were forwarded that referenced the trust, so I believe he had some knowledge of the trust.
Right. So in other words, what you're referencing, we've heard testimony about this. Keith Caneiro, there's messages between Keith and Paul, and Keith forwards about the trust, and Keith forwards them to Corey, correct?
Yes.
You also saw the Wise videos in this case?
I did.
And you know, based on your review, that after Keith speaks to Paul that night, he then calls Corey and relays to him some substance of the conversation with respect to Paul and the trust, right?
Yes.
Okay. And with respect to Corey, you never did an extraction of his cell phone, correct?
I did not.
And there was no search of his computers or electronic devices or anything like that?
There was not.
There was no review of his finances?
There was not.
However, you were aware during the course of your investigation that with respect to the trust, right, that Corey was a beneficiary, right?
At some point, I learned that both him and Paul were beneficiaries of the trust.
Well, when you say at some point, you testified about it at the grand jury, correct?
Yes.
And that was in February of 2019, correct?
Yes.
A few months after this is happening, within the first few months of your investigation.
Yes.
You knew this information.
Certainly by February. I can't remember exactly when I learned of that trust.
My question wasn't exactly when, sir. My question was simply, at some point, let's say within the first few months of your investigation, because you testified about it under oath in February, you knew that Corey was a 50% beneficiary, correct?
Yes.
I mean, we're talking by February of 2019, right?
Yes.
Okay. And despite that, and when we say a beneficiary, we're talking about the life insurance policy worth $3 million, correct?
It's my understanding that's what it was, yes.
And despite that, there was no further investigation to follow that money, correct?
No, there was not.
Okay. And you also did have information in the course of your investigation that Corey was experiencing financial distress, correct?
I do not know what Corey's financial situation was before, and I don't know what it is now.
Did you, when you say you don't know, you are aware that there was a phone extraction done of Elisa Caneiro, correct?
Objection. This was asked and answered.
Sustain that one.
Come on up.
Judge isn't happy. This is interrupting his candy eating hours. We're going to skip ahead. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, long sidebar.
Did you review, sir, did you review Elisa Caneiro's phone extraction?
A portion of it.
Okay, when you say a portion of it, are you talking about a specific time frame? Are you talking about a specific application? And I don't want you to tell me what you read. That's hearsay. I just want to know generally what you looked at. Was it an application when you say a portion? Was it a time frame?
Specifically, it was the day of the 19th and the 20th.
The 19th and the 20th. Okay. So when you say the 19th and the 20th, you're talking about you review text messages?
Typically, I would do the timeline. Because there's a feature in Celebrate that allows you to go to a specific timeline.
So everything?
It brings up everything for that day. Basically, if you jump from a text message to a web search to a phone call, whatever, it's literally the timeline of what your phone's doing. That's usually what I do in a situation like this, and that's what I did here. I just went to the timeline and scrolled through the timeline to see what was occurring that day.
Okay, so let's back up. So we talked about how in a cell phone extraction, there's a lot of information that can be learned, right? Because there's text messages between that person who owns the phone and as many people as they're talking to for as long as they've had that, the data is kept in the phone, correct?
Yes.
I mean, cell phone extractions can be years worth of information, right?
Sure.
They can, just as an example, if you extracted a phone in 2026, you might get information dating back to 2015, like 10 years ago.
Theoretically, yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of data in the phone. There's a lot of messages. There can be a lot of phone calls, right?
Yes.
And in a cell phone extraction, unlike cell phone records, you can view the content of the text messages, right? You can see what is said.
Yes.
And you also can see photographs, right?
You can.
You can see videos, right?
You can.
Sometimes people have, they have documents kept in their phone, correct?
Yes.
Some people do, right?
Sure, yes.
And there's like a notes application, right? You can see a variety of applications in the person's phone that may or may not be using.
Yes.
You can even see location data, for example, right?
You can.
There's a lot of information to be learned.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're telling us that in this case, the only 2 days that you looked at in the entirety of Elisa Caneiro's phone was on the 19th and the 20th of November of 2018. Those 2 days only.
My scrolling through her phone, that was what I focused on because that was the relevant portion to this investigation.
Okay. You decided that was the relevant portion to this investigation, correct?
I did.
And do you know let me just phrase it this way. Because you did not look past November 19th and 20th of 2018, you don't know what's in the rest of that phone.
I did not go through the phone in its entirety. No.
And you also, so in addition to not extracting Corey Caneiro's phone, not searching his devices or reviewing his finances, there was no search of his home, correct?
No, definitely not.
No search of his vehicles, correct?
No.
Confiscate his guns.
And there was no, we talked about this earlier, there's no recorded interview of Corey Caneiro as far as a video or audio or anything like that, right?
No, the initial interview that I did was in Bethlehem PD, and that was just an interview, not recorded. And then the second was memorialized, though, on a type statement.
And you never, obviously, I think you never obtained his DNA, correct?
No.
When you interviewed him, you never asked him any questions about the trust at all?
Not as far as anything other than forwarding me the emails. That was the only discussion of the trust.
Right. And
again, at that point, I didn't even know about a trust.
Okay. What you're telling us is Corey Caneiro forwarded you some emails related to Keith and Paul and the trust, correct?
At my request, yes.
Okay, at your request.
Yes.
And when you say at your request, but you learned of them, right, before you requested them?
During the course of my interview with Corey in Bethlehem Police Department.
I don't want you to tell us what was said, because that's hearsay. The question is simply, obviously you can only request of something that you learn of, right?
Correct. That's what I was going to say. During the interview, I learned of these emails, requested, he forwarded them to me, and he did right away.
Okay. And you learned about them from Corey, obviously, because you're talking to him.
Yes.
Okay. And other than that, there were no additional, that was not a topic of conversation with Corey Caneiro. You didn't ask him anything else about the trust?
No, those emails and...
It's just a yes or no. There was no other conversation about that, right?
Jack, he was asked the question. He's trying to explain.
Yeah. I think we should give the witness the opportunity to answer. I didn't think it was a yes or no, but if you frame the question with a yes or no at the end and he doesn't answer it that way, I agree with you, Ms. Massalone, in the future.
Sir, the question is simply, other than those emails, there was no other further questioning to Corey Caneiro about the trust, about his knowledge of the trust, or anything related to the trust.
That wasn't the question.
At that point, no.
That was a statement. We have just a handful of minutes before we expect the jury welfare check in the au pair trial.
You were at 15 Willowbrook earlier that day, correct?
Yes.
At Keith's house. And you got there at approximately, what, 1:30 you said?
1:45.
1:45. You never saw Corey there that day, right?
No.
And to your knowledge, he was not there.
To my knowledge, no.
So, in this case, we know that there's two different weapons used, correct?
Yes.
There's a firearm and then there's a knife, right?
Correct.
Obviously not the same. And we also know that there's information about two people outside of Mr. Paul Caneiro's house at 4:30 in the morning, correct?
So that information you're talking about from Ms. Cap?
And Jonathan Harrington.
I'm aware of that information.
Okay. And were you aware that did you look at the jeans in this case that were found in the basement?
I saw them initially, and then I saw them once again when they came back from the lab.
Okay. And were you aware, or was it ever your impression that there was actually two pairs of jeans?
No.
And we also know that it's suspected that the McCann was used, right? That vehicle.
Yes.
I mean, we have the videos, right?
Yes.
There's no blood in that car, right?
We have videos that this
There
is
was no blood found, but the canine did hit in the back of the car.
Well, you didn't visually observe any blood, right?
I did not.
And you didn't perform any confirmatory testing to see if there was any blood?
I wouldn't do that anyway, but no.
When you say you wouldn't do it...
That would be our forensics that would do that.
Okay. But when you're collaborating and you're talking and you're coordinating with all of the different investigators in the investigation team, did it ever dawn on you that, perhaps that's something you'd want to know? Because can we agree that canines are often right, but not 100% of the time?
Objection.
Yeah, it's sustained.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll
go ahead.
rephrase it. Canines are a locating tool, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so oftentimes you do confirmatory testing with a lab, right? You do DNA, trace evidence, things of that nature.
I don't do any of that, but forensics and the lab do test things, yes.
Okay, right. When I say you, I mean universal you. So law
Universal
enforcement,
you.
investigators, generally, that's something that they would normally do, right?
Test evidence?
Yes. Okay. So in this case, did you ever at any point say to the forensic guys to vote, to Catalona, to your supervisors, to any of the investigators on the team, hey, we haven't observed blood in this car. We don't see anything. We tried with a light. We tried with the blue star. Can we test it for DNA?
Judge, objection. They said they did test it.
That was my recollection that they actually did test it, but it came back as nothing. But it's the jury's recollection that controls as it relates to that issue. If you know, Mr.
I'm sorry.
Lieutenant, go ahead.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, sure.
He's like, you could have tested this. You could have confirmed what the dog did. You could have tested it to see. And objection is, they did. Came back negative. She's like, can we approach? Anyway, let's skip ahead here. We have just 3 minutes until we expect the bailiff makes a polite tap at the door in the au pair trial to say, hey, you guys okay in there?
Lieutenant, I'm going to clarify my question. The canine hit on the back of the car, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking about the inside of the car. That's what I meant. So the inside of the car, right, there was no blood.
Not that I'm aware of.
And when I say there's no blood, I mean it wasn't visually observed, right?
Correct.
It was processed with various forensic tools like blue star and light technology.
I don't know specifically what they did, but that would make sense.
And it was never tested. It was never like swabbed and tested for DNA or anything like that, right?
I don't know what they did as far as testing. I wouldn't be able to sit here and say specifically what they did or didn't do.
And the back area, the license plate that was tested was negative.
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. So even though the canine hit, it was still negative.
The canine hit in the back part of the car. I wouldn't be able to testify what the canine hit on or didn't hit on.
That's a motion in
Residual
court.
order, if it was something specific, I don't know.
Okay. My only
I
point
wasn't
is
there, and I'm not the canine handler, so.
no, you're just the lead investigator. And my only point is
Zing.
there was no blood in the car, right?
As far as I know, no.
And
You're just the lead investigator. A little bit of snark. I think she's about done.
when you say that you reviewed the evidence in this case, some of it, did you ever, you said you looked at the pants?
Yes.
The pair of pants that was sent to the lab and they...
The jeans.
Right, that pair of jeans with the blood on them, right?
Yes.
One pair or two pair?
And you're aware that they were able to determine the size of the pants?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Do the pants fit?
Judge, can we approach?
If the pants don't fit, you must acquit, right? Just trying to get somewhere with this, and it's not landing yet. Amazing that the defense basically waved the white flag and admitted that on video it is in fact that Porsche. You can see it's the Porsche. She's like, I mean, we've got the video. You can see. Well, didn't think they'd admit to anything. I thought they were
To look at it. So let's do our mid-afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, there's just a piece of evidence that I want to look at before you get a chance to look at it. So let's do our mid-afternoon break right now. I apologize. We're running a little bit late on that. I'm hoping to keep you right on the tight window, but it'll be somewhere around 3:45, maybe a little bit before. Thank you all. Please don't discuss this case or do any research.
All right, so they go to break just for a minute. Let me see how long the judge is going to take for that. Might be a bit. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit, like off. Oh, enjoy the peace. Enjoy the peace and quiet. Tell you what we'll do. Let's take a peek at the au pair trial while we wait just for a moment. We're seeing a little bit of motion in the court with the camera, so it looks like some the camera crew, at least the audio guys and the camera crew, were present and prepping for something, which we anticipate might get to actually hear from the judge, possibly. We did not hear from the judge at the end of the day yesterday. It just sort of turned off, right? The feed was done. But we'll take a short break here. I wear 32-inch pants, but I may need 36s. That's a clever name. I think many of us are still very optimistic about our pant size when we put them on in the morning, and whether we're up to the battle of actually getting the fit or not. I've been in that boat. Did I tell you I ate a salad for lunch? So I'm so ready for verdict music. We do not have a verdict yet. What we're expecting right now is not, the jury has a verdict. What we're expecting is whether or not the jury wants to work later tonight, or if they want to go home. What can we read into that? If they want to go home, see, that's what I'm talking about, movement in the court. They're playing with the cameras. People are there at the controls. So if they want to go home, it might be an indication that they're not ready to reach a verdict. It's possible that they might just want to sleep on it if they have reached a verdict or sort of are almost there. But it's more likely that it might take some time tomorrow as well if they want to go home right now. Interesting thought I wanted to bring up, and actually I'll save this for Courtroom Confidential tonight. Tonight I will be on with Josh Ritter talking about the au pair affair trial, and it's going to be a blast. So come join us 8:00 on Courtroom Confidential's YouTube channel. It'll be good. Let's go back and see how this one ends up, because we're not seeing any movement, even though it's 4:03. Haven't seen anything from the court. If the court does have anything happen from here, we'll let you know. But let's see. All right, they're coming back to court.
We lost the witness.
We lost the witness.
He started, he ran away. Never mind.
Okay, we addressed that issue outside the presence of the jury. We now have the jury back in the room. Ms. Mastalone, you can continue.
Sir, I just want to go over a timeline with you. Okay. So if we can start, maybe just like half of them, maybe.
Half the lights on.
At 2:07 a.m. That's when we.
Let me stop you for 1 second. Can you just turn off the portrait one? Yep, that one right there. You got it. That turned off that light. Go ahead.
Judicial's pleasure.
At
Up to
2:07 a.m. That's when we see the vehicle leaving 27 Tilton, correct? On surveillance video.
Yes.
Does she have a whiteboard out? Is she making her own exhibit?
Okay. And at approximately 2:27, we see the vehicle arrive in the area at 15 Boulevard, correct?
Yes.
She is. She's making her own exhibit. You get to peek at her notes. Baseball caps, where did the blood go?
Okay. And we saw the videos today of at approximately 2:35 a.m. is when we see the light appear outside of the garage, and we see like the silhouette of a person.
Correct.
This is probably some of the most damning evidence as she puts the timeline together. Garage light. Sharpie, not a sponsor.
And there's some back and forth, right? We see the figure go one way, and then the person goes the other way. We hear some noises, things of that nature, right?
Subject goes to the side of the electrical panel first, to the generator, back to the electrical panel.
In the direction of, right?
In the direction of.
And we know that the video stops, I think it's 59 milliseconds. So in other words, 251.
251.
Okay.
252. The cable or the internet company reported that the internet router was out of their destination. Power cut. I can almost smell the Sharpie from it. As a matter of fact, everyone get your Sharpies and sniff along.
It's not just the video we saw, it's when all of the cameras stopped working, right?
Yes.
And between 235 and 251, like we mentioned, we see the person's just going, he's just in the area outside of the garage, right?
Going back and forth from either side, yes.
Right, small. Is that an actual Sharpie?
And at 2:52 a.m., Verizon alerts of that there's a loss of power to the ONT, correct?
Now, the first alert at 2:52 for Verizon was loss of power to the ONT, yes. And then
Verizon lost power. Okay, got that. That's the fiber internet.
Now, that coincides with the 251, right? Essentially, power's lost.
yes.
Like, the video stops working, and now there's a loss of power to the house, right?
Following the subject going back and forth outside, yes.
I'm not disagreeing with you, sir. I'm just asking what happened at 2:52, okay?
Yes.
So, we also know that between 3:14 and 3:18 a.m., that's when the text messages are sent from Keith's phone to Paul's phone, correct?
Correct.
Super permanent ink. Is that what it says on the pen? Super permanent ink.
Also, at 3:18 a.m. is when we know that Robert Block, who works at Square One, the business is alerted that the servers are down.
Correct.
We know that at approximately 3:30 a.m., whether it's so we know that dispatch recorded the receiving the call at 3:33, correct?
Yes.
And we know that the dispatch reported that the gunshots were heard at 3:31, correct?
No, I would disagree with that. The time of the call was 3:31. The time of the dispatch was 3:33.
Okay. Okay.
Motion in court again.
We know that it was approximately 3:30 a.m., right?
That the call was made. Yes. Well, that's the call, but the gunshots, if you're building the timeline, I would do 3:26 for the time of the gunshots, because that's what time Mr. Kapoor estimated he heard the gunshots.
So, Mr. Kapoor reported that he heard the gunshots 1 minute later, correct? That's actually what he reported. That he heard the gunshots and then called 1 minute later. That's what he said.
I believe in Detective Mahoney's report, he says that he heard them at 3:26.
Okay. He said he heard them at 3:26, right? And called 1 minute later at 3:27, correct?
No, I believe he told me when I talked to him that he laid down and kind of thought about it for a minute or two and then called.
sorry, did you spoke to Dennis Kapora personally?
Yes,
or are you relying on Detective Mahoney's notes?
No, both. And that was Mr. Report during trial prep, which I did the report on.
Okay, that was recently, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can we agree that memories are better, closer in time to the event than they are present day? And we're talking about a 7-year time period?
Yes, and I believe in Detective Mahoney's report that was taken at that time, it was 3:26.
Yes. And he reports that he heard them at 3:26 and called a minute later at 3:27, correct? That's what he reported to Mahoney 7 years ago.
I don't know. I believe he said he heard them at 3:26, laid down for a couple minutes, and then called. The time of the call was 3:31. The time of the dispatch was 3:33.
I think he did say a minute later. We'll have to go back to the transcript for this one. But he also said, when I'm talking about minutes, I'm not saying like 60 seconds. He says, okay. I heard the gunshots 3:26.
You're in part relying on what was memorialized by Detective Mahoney, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to approach with what is marked as S-260. I'm just going to show you this. If you want to read here and there.
3:26, heard shots, called 911, 3:27, a minute later.
Okay, you read it out loud.
Yes.
But basically, he says
she was fine with that.
He heard them at 3:26 and he called a minute later at 3:27. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So he reported a minute later. But dispatch received the call at 3:31, like you just testified to, correct?
Correct.
So if he's mistaken and a minute later is 3:31 and 3:33, then that is a plausible timeline, right? And I'm not saying that is the timeline, but that would make sense, right? Objection.
What's your objection?
Speculative as to what would make sense, and he just testify to what he knows.
Yeah, he can only testify as to what he knows. I mean, I think it's clear to the jurors at this point in time that he's saying that he called at 3:26 and it was 1 minute later, or that he heard the shots at 3:26 and the call was 1 minute later. Whether he's right or wrong, that's not for this detective to say. That's for the jurors to decide. So.
You do have familiarity with how dispatch works, correct?
I do.
And when a call is received by dispatch, they report it immediately, right?
No, that's not true. This was a 911 call. The dispatch actually has to call. There's always a delay. The dispatch has to call, receive the call, answer the call, get the information, and then they entered it into Spillman, which is the computer-aided dispatch. So time of the call is 3:31. Time they generate the call in Spillman, which is the CAD system, is 3:33.
Right.
Because somebody has to call, answer, talk to them, get the information, then enter the screen.
Okay, let me clarify. When I say immediately, I mean within a minute or two, right?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same
what
logic
I mean to say is dispatch isn't receiving the call at 3:20 and
wants it both
waiting
ways.
10 minutes to relay it, right? It's going to be, that's their job, right? To relay the information as efficiently as possible because it could be an emergency and people are relying on them, right?
Of course.
Okay. So regardless of whether it was 3:26 or 3:27 or 3:31 or 3:33, can we agree it was approximately 3:30 a.m.? If it makes you feel better, I can write 3:27 possibly as well, okay? For the gunshots.
I would put 3:26, but okay.
No problem.
Can't, it's a permanent
Sometime
marker.
between 3:26 and 3:31, there's gunshots.
Yes.
Okay? Now,
That's funny.
at 3:42 is when the Verizon fiber optic line or the Verizon Fios optical network terminal goes out, correct?
3:43 is the last alert. 3:42, I believe, if you
saw
look at it
that.
closely, it's like 3:42 and 50 something
Got
seconds.
another
It's hard to
15
read, but
minutes.
yes.
Or another minute before the next welfare check. They might just need to talk to each other and decide.
So when you testified at the grand jury and you said that there was a loss of AC power to the optical network terminal at 3:42, sorry, that the Verizon advised that the Fios optical network terminal went out at about 3:42 a.m. When you testified to that, are you disagreeing with that, or is that
It's
correct?
about 3:43.
Okay.
She's giving up a lot of ground here, literally spelling out the prosecution's timeline in permanent ink.
Now,
it better be good.
When at 3:42, about 3:42 a.m., what that means is that the fiber optic line appeared to have been cut, correct?
The fiber optic line was cut, but I wouldn't be able to say that that's the exact time. I don't know if there's a delay in the notification to Verizon as far as how their system works specifically. So I wouldn't necessarily be able to sit here and say that that's the exact time that the line was cut.
But at about 3:42 a.m. is when the fiber optic line was cut, correct?
That's the time that Verizon made a note, or they got an alert that the fiber optic went offline.
And that's also what you testified to under oath, correct?
Yes.
At the grand jury?
Yes.
You testified, and at about 3:42 a.m. is when that fiber optic line appeared to have been cut. Is that correct? And you say correct. So you testified under oath that at about 3:42 a.m. is when it appeared that the line was cut. Do you disagree with your testimony?
No, about 3:42, but I don't know if it's exactly at 3:42 is the moment that it was cut, but about, yes.
I used to work with a software called Tivoli, made by IBM, which does monitoring of systems like this. It would detect things like a fiber cut. And depending on how often the situation would be run,
And you said it was...
it could be several minutes after the cut before it's detected.
It was like 3:52,
it's all in the settings.
Closer to 3:53 or something. Did you testify to that?
No.
So, at 3:48, is when the vehicle leaves the area of Willowbrook, correct?
Approximately, yes.
Court watch box here in just a second.
When you reviewed the Wise video footage, did you tell us earlier what time frame you reviewed?
I don't believe I did.
Do you recall?
Oh, for that specific clip I did. But you're talking in general?
In general, what did you review starting at like 2 a.m., that relevant time frame?
I did.
Do you recall hearing at 2:15 a.m. that there was a car alarm going off?
On the garage cam?
Yes.
I do not recall hearing that.
There you go. We've made room for her notes. This is a very aggressive ASMR courtroom. The audio system is fighting us.
It's actually from the sun porch view. Did you review video from the sun porch view?
I did, but I don't recall specifically the times that I did.
She's so mad now. She's getting feisty. She's going to show him the laptop.
Can I just have this table? Volume all the way up?
not sure what we're listening to.
Just make sure my sound's working.
We heard sound. Do you hear that?
So it's difficult to hear, but let's see if we can hear it. I'll play it first, and then if we can hear it, I'll hit the timestamp.
The beep, 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 beep.
I started the video at approximately 2:16 a.m. Did you hear the beeping in the background?
Could you play it one more time?
Sure. Here's what I'm going to do, actually.
What are you going to do? You're going to break the HDMI cable.
So I'm going to start this video, and this one starts at 2:15, okay? And I'm just going to play this.
Okay.
And it's on November 20th, 2018, correct?
Correct.
I was asking a witness.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay. We don't hear it in this video. You don't hear anything, do you?
I did not hear it.
Okay, so now I'm going to compare that to the next
I
video.
heard it.
All right.
Beep, 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 like a truck backing up.
So that's at 2:15. Actually, so I'm at 2:15:52, okay? I'm going to press play.
Much louder there.
Did you hear how it started to beep?
I did not.
I'll do it one more time. And then I'll play the next clip, which you can hear it.
I've heard it in every single one. The jury needed 5 more minutes to decide if they were going to go home. Or keep deliberating.
So tell us if you can hear a beeping in this video. And then I think it appears to stop. Did you hear that?
I heard it. I mean, I vaguely heard a noise, but I wouldn't say that was a car alarm.
Okay. Do you agree that it was the original clip at 2:15 was fairly silent, and then we heard some sort of beeping at approximately 2:16?
I heard a noise. I wouldn't even classify it as beeping. I barely heard a noise.
Okay. Did you hear something?
I heard a noise, but...
Okay. You heard a noise, but you didn't hear a noise prior to that, right?
He's deaf.
I heard a noise at that time.
Okay. And is this anything that you, at the time that you were watching these videos and investigating, was it something that caught your attention, or that you did anything to investigate further?
I could barely hear it now, so I wouldn't even have heard it before.
All right. So now. So if I could have the...
If the jury all heard it, and this guy says he doesn't hear it, they're not going to believe him.
All right. So at 2:07, between between 207 and 227 is the vehicle is leaving 27 Tilton, and then there's a vehicle that arrives at Willowbrook, correct?
Correct.
And we know that this is approximately 20 minutes, right?
Correct.
And then at from 2:35 to 2:51 is when there's someone outside of the garage area going back and forth from the direction of the electrical meter and the generator, and they're going back and forth, right?
Correct.
And that would be, what, 14 minutes? 16 minutes? You agree? And then from 2:52 until the last text message, let's do it this way. From 2:52 until approximately 3:30, or we'll say 3:26. How long is that?
So you're asking me from, I'm sorry, one more time, from when to when?
From 2:52 until approximately 3:30 a.m., or if you prefer, 3:26.
34 minutes.
Or 34 minutes?
34 minutes, if he likes it.
And from approximately 3:26 or 3:30 until 3:42 is how long?
3:30, 3:42?
Sure.
12 minutes.
And then lastly, from 3:42, which is about when the Verizon Fios line is cut, until 3:48 is how long?
6 minutes.
You guys got all that? 20, 16, 34, 12, and 6. Is that right?
Okay. So we agree on this timeline, correct?
I agree on this timeline, but there's things before and after that I would put on the timeline. If you're building a timeline of the events of that night, the car returning at 4:07.
Okay, we can add that. And that's what?
I would add additional stuff to it as well. If you're building the timeline, I would start at 1:28 a.m. in 27 Tilton.
Okay. That's fine. But for this timeline, because I'm focusing on when the vehicle leaves, right? The timeline that I'm focusing on is clearly when the vehicle leaves 27 Tilton until, we'll say, it arrives back at 27 Tilton. And so 3:48 to 4:07 is 19 minutes? Right?
Correct.
Okay. So 20 minutes there, 19 minutes back, right?
Correct.
I don't have it.
All right, if you guys will give me just 1 minute, we have some important business to conduct. We're going to first do this right here, and then this. By our clock, we got 10 hours, 21 minutes, 17 seconds on the clock that the jury deliberated over 2 days. They heard over 10 days, well, they heard 10 days of testimony in this trial that covered everything from FetLife messages, email accounts, text messages, affairs, and more. And after weighing all the evidence and considering everything that was presented to them, it took them 10 hours to determine that they could unite on one decision. Whether this is guilty or not guilty, we'll find out in just a minute. But the jury has a verdict. They had a verdict at 4:15 roughly. The bailiff went in to check on them after first going in at 4 o'clock. The 4 o'clock verdict, they said, come back in 15 minutes. They came back in 15 minutes, and they said, don't go anywhere. Hold the phone. We now have word the jury's reached a verdict. So the court is assembling everybody in the courtroom for this. It's the end of the day. We are going to be hearing the verdict today instead of waiting till tomorrow. And if the polls are right, we have upwards of 90% of our viewers and the viewers on many other channels saying this one is guilty, guilty, guilty. Interesting decision in this trial where the defendant chose to testify in his own defense. The au pair, also his co-conspirator, also charged in the same crimes, testified in this trial against the defendant. And you might think, why didn't the defendant take this opportunity to throw her under the bus and blame her for everything? Well, the problem is, if the jury thinks they were working together, anything she did, he would also be guilty of. But here we are. We've got a verdict. We don't know exactly the time frame the court's going to be back. We're holding tight for a notification here. So if you missed this in the au pair trial, we're expecting a verdict here tonight with the timer. The timer has officially stopped on all our clocks. So now we're in a holding pattern. We can't listen to the music that long. No, it's okay. We're done with the music. Possibly 30-minute wait would put us at 5 o'clock for a verdict reading. If you're in the area of the courtroom, you better get there now if you want to be in for this. The charges that remain in this, there are 2 counts of aggravated murder, one for killing 2 people within a 3-year period, one for multiple murders as part of the same act or transaction. These carry a mandatory life sentence without parole if convicted, which means there would be, I believe, no pre-sentence investigation required if there's only one possible outcome on these. Virginia does not have the death penalty, and so, or if they do, it's not pursued in this one. I don't think they have the death penalty. They've got the use of a firearm, the commission of a felony related to the shooting Ryan during the murders, and they've got the child endangerment. They dropped the other one and the other 2 aggravated murder charges. This is child abuse stemming from the couple's then 4-year-old daughter being in the home basement during the killings, which would potentially have exposed her to danger. That's where the child endangerment charge comes in. But Banfield says not guilty. It was not him, that he knew nothing about this. He didn't even know about FetLife until, he got discovery in the case? I'm just not buying it. There are some varying different counts on the timer. I count my timer including lunch hours, unless we specifically are told the jury is taking a break for lunch. We were not specifically told the jury was taking a break for lunch, so we counted lunch hours both days. So it's possible the counter could be down by 2 hours. And obviously there could be little breaks here and there that are not worked in as well. Sentencing today, I don't know. I don't know why it would be delayed. But let me go ahead and update the update our stream so that everyone knows that we have a verdict in this case. Just 1 second. All right, the verdict is in. What are your thoughts? So I guess we can take we can put the burner phone online if anyone has any last minute weigh-ins on this. We can take a couple thoughts. Might be delayed to allow victim impact statements. You're right, could be. Let me repin this message. Thank you, Josh, for that. Virginia always has sentencing to a later date. In that case, the victim impact statements might happen then. Make time for that. But if he's guilty, we know that that there's only one possible outcome. That's life without parole. You have not missed it. We're just waiting for the court to catch up and get everyone ready, and then for the verdict to be read. Got a call coming in now. Let's see who's on the line.
Call from Meg Osborne.
Meg, how are you doing?
Oh my! Are we not all in total shock and awe that it took this long?
Well, if it took much longer than this, I would say that would be a concern. But it was a 10-day trial. If you say 1 hour per day and they're looking at all the evidence, that would add up. You know, we're right in line with where it should be. It's on the upper side, but we're right in line.
Yeah, but clearly when you look at the vote we did about how long it would take, we were on the other side.
Right. I think what I said earlier, over 90% of us believe that he was guilty if the polls are correct at the end of the trial.
On that end, looking about what we did with how long did you think it would take?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was like 12% or less thought it would take more than 1 day. So about 60 or 70% thought it would be the first day, which would be 4 hours of deliberation.
Yeah. So I'm just surprised nobody else called in to say I am dumbfounded. I was so right on the Smarties. I had my husband go buy some Smart, and we opened them.
You're doing the ASMR thing.
Well, I just wanted to make sure. I was like, oh, okay. And his father, so we all came out, and we listened to the judge. I replay. I'm like, okay, everybody party.
Yeah.
And we were laughing so hard. We're hands down. We did the test here at my house, confirmed Smarties.
It's Smarties. Someone's eating Smarties. All right. Thank you.
Thank
you very much, Meg. We did have about
6
6 calls come in at the same time, so we'll see if we can get a couple more people to weigh in, and we'll have a verdict here before you know it, with about 22 minutes before the verdict's going to be read. Thank you, Meg, for the call. Appreciate it.
Yay! All right. Bye, guys.
The Smarties.
Prosecutor's office.
Whoops.
Mr. Pendleton.
What is playing on my phone? Okay, not that. All right. Freeze up the phone line. We only have one of them, so make it quick if you want to call. 12 people on the jury, 12 people who want to be sure they say something in the group discussion. It takes a while, especially if they follow the judge instructions.
Eden the Wise.
Eden the Wise. How are you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm at a doctor's appointment, so I'll make it quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say throughout this case, I was giving the defense a little bit of credit to say maybe there's a smoking gun somewhere. It wasn't until he got on the stand and did his testimony, I was like, oh, no, he's definitely guilty. Just his mannerisms, the story he told, there was just a lot of time gaps, missing things going on. I said, oh, he's definitely guilty in my book. I'm just glad there's a verdict.
Yeah. What struck me was when he's on the stand, showing almost no emotion for all of it, right? It's his question about the entire thing from when he met his wife to the current day. Okay, he's covering that time frame. Right. There's almost no emotion. I realize a lot of time has gone by, but when he talks about meeting the au pair and starting that relationship, man, that guy's heart rate went to 120, and he got a big grin on his face. And he was all excited.
Right.
I'm like, whoa.
And one point he got flustered too. Yeah, and when he got flustered that one time, I said, oh, yeah, that's the guilty look right there, where it's like, oh, crap, she asked me that question.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yep. And then when his boss...
But I'm hoping that you're...
when his boss took the stand in rebuttal, and he couldn't even look at him.
Yeah.
He was
like
something on the desk was super interesting the whole time. Like, no, that didn't happen.
Right,
yeah, that was a lie. That was pretty powerful.
And his lawyer did him no favors either. It was a long story of just nothing, where it's like he was reaching for something that just wasn't there. You know, like, how do you explain this? And then they explained it. So it's like, oh, crap. I went through this whole sermon about all this stuff, and it just, like, I think he lost the jury with all that, because I was nodding off even at work. I'm just like, I can't sleep at work. This guy,
well, here's what we have to do. We might have to give him a little more credit. For us, it wasn't a good fit, right? If we were on the jury, we might be like, man, this guy can't keep my attention for the life of him. But from our court watchers, like when Rob from Lawn Lumber was there in court watching this, the jury is attentive and taking notes. and they're right there. So maybe he read the jury and said, as long as they're there taking notes, I've got them. I'm going to keep this delivery style because it matches their pace of note taking. If they ever, roll their eyes or flip a page and here's still going, that's going to be the sign that you need to change up or wrap it up. But it's possible that he just read the jury that way and thought that this was what would work best for them.
The state. Right. So then with that being said, do you think the state did a really good job in repelling that to say, look, these are hard, solid against him evidence?
Yeah, I think
his notion of
the state being able to quickly get to the point, especially on cross of the defense witnesses or on direct. They were so effective at saying, look, this isn't the big mystery defense wants it to be. It's very clear. It's very simple to see. Here are the facts. We don't have to spend all day trying to set up this house of cards that could then potentially mean that something else happened. They were very good at just chopping down any gains the defense got rapidly in just moments. So, interesting.
Maybe they read it too. Maybe they read the same thing with the jury. We don't have to go on this whole long journey of dismantling this guy. We could just wrap it up in a nice bow.
Yeah.
Due to their body language, maybe they saw that in the jury.
It's possible. They have the benefit of seeing the jury, which we don't. So, Ayden the Wise, thank you for the call. Right. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Skylar. This call is Medicare related.
It's a scam call in the middle of this. So I saw that. I thought it was coming in. Rob says they were very engaged throughout the trial. Sometimes we don't give the juries credit for listening to everything. We know more than juries. We know more than the jury. And don't forget that. Right. We do hear some things the jury does not get to hear. But obviously, in this case, the jury got to see a lot of things that we did not get to see. And I'm not upset about that. I really am not. Some of those graphic images, the jury won't be able to unsee when this is done as well. So, as well as some text. We are going to be on tonight with Josh Ritter on Courtroom Confidential, talking about this on Courtroom Confidential's YouTube channel. So please join us for that.
AWOL.
AWOL, it's good to hear from you, my friend. How are you doing today, and what's your thoughts?
Oh, pretty good. I'll keep it short. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the meeting aspect where he lied about the meeting, but then again, his boss said, not with me. And I know other people were off that day. So I don't know. But that one did not help him at all. Now, I do have a theory that maybe the all pair did this whole thing. And he went to McDonald's and came back to a situation and went, oh, my God, what did you do? Right? And then said, let me try to help her out because I see a future with her. It's not morally, he was not a good guy with his marriage. You know what I mean? So it's not like
a couple things.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The au pair doing this is basically someone coming to a foreign country and setting up a mastermind murder plan extremely effectively. Many layers. This is Dexter level organization, right? To pin it on somebody else in a foreign language, in a foreign country. That's a lot. And this au pair either, her IQ was off the charts and we just didn't know it, or she's got us all fooled.
I mean, some people are diabolical. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, you can say, like, there's no way that can happen. But then we could also say, maybe, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know. I think that, again, there's so many theories. That's why I'm at reasonable doubt. But I'm not married to the idea that he's not guilty. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying, like, it is possible that this happened and he thought, oh, man, let me save her. You know what I mean? Like, let me help her and maybe we can get out of this and live happily ever after, which was not part of her plan. You get, like, you know what I mean? Where it just didn't work. So I don't know. Something about this is so off that I don't know if the state jumped the hurdle of their burden. I don't know. So what do you do at that point? Do you just go, I don't know, but I think so? So guilty?
I don't have that same doubt, and I'm trying to think what in your mind is still a big question mark. Do you need evidence, video evidence of him shooting the gun? Or
no, I don't. Other than I don't even see the motive behind it. Really,
it's like a love triangle. There's motive by definition there, right?
No, there's a love triangle, but wouldn't you think that someone who was here, Pickles, on a timely issue, if you get what I'm saying, would not want somebody out of the picture, so then maybe she can get a non-timely visit. I'm trying to keep the Pickles here.
Yeah, so
you
you're
know
saying
what I mean?
basically if she gets married here, she could, get citizenship and all that. There's motive for
and
her
then
that way.
Then it went south, and then they were like, oh, no, what do we do now? And she said, you know what? This isn't going to work. I'm going to just spill the beans and throw it back on him. I didn't think this through. Nobody thinks crime in a perfect manner. There's no way to get away with it.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know.
I think both of them told little lies, that we didn't hear the truth, the absolute truth from either of them. But I do think that we heard a lot of lies from Brendan and a few lies from the au pair. There's too much. The evidence just stacks up wrong. I mean, you can't account for the gap in the time in the 911 call. Brendan's story, it accounts for maybe 1 or 2 minutes of gap. There was 15 minutes between the two calls. How do you account for that? How do you pre-call 911 before you shoot somebody and then not call for 15 minutes? It blows my mind. Why would we be able to say, oh, it was her, it was the wife, it was all her that set up the FetLife, and it was all her thing. This was her idea. She was, sneaking behind our backs and setting up this relationship. When the au pair and Brendan are out of town, the wife's home alone with her computers. She doesn't touch the thing. Right. There's no communication. There's just too much.
Great point.
There's too much there that just doesn't make sense. I think if anything, I can give Brendan a lot of credit for trying to set it up so that he would have an alibi or some cover. But it's just impossible to get everything. There's no such thing as the perfect crime. And he, even with his investigator knowledge or association around investigations, he was IRS, not criminal, or not crime scene. But I think he had some knowledge that way, and he used that or utilized that, in my opinion. But it's just not enough. There's always going to be something. Nothing's going to go according to plan perfectly. And those little things that fell apart, the little pieces that we can see, the 7 minutes in the bathroom at McDonald's waiting for the phone call, and then leaving the phone call but not rushed and getting caught on camera, and not wearing the right clothes to go to work for a big work meeting. The boss watching the show and saying, hey, there actually was no work meeting. About that, by the way, I've worked in federal government, and when the guy comes in, his boss came in and said, hey, there was no meeting because I was the boss that day. The way that happens, everything rolls downhill, responsibility rolls downhill, and somebody has to be in charge every day in government jobs. So you can't just have the boss is gone today, everyone just keep working. They always have somebody who steps up and is filling in as an acting director or whatever it is. So the big boss is gone. We know that because this guy who testified was in charge that day. He would only be in charge if the other boss was gone. So it's not like he said, well, if it wasn't with me, it might have been with the higher up. No, the higher up was gone. That's why he was in control. But anyway.
And I'll end it with this real quick. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's why I'm not married to any of my ideas. Mm-hmm. The way you explained it, and now I'm thinking about his version of the story, what he did with the blammy, where I took one round in him, and then I went to my wife. You didn't secure the threat? I'm sorry. I'm not guilty. I switched my mind.
Hey, well,
I'm not guilty.
It's a rare moment when we're on the same side of the fence. I don't know what to do with this situation.
It doesn't make sense. I was just trying to work it through. I like critical thinking, so I had to work it through. But you have great points.
I love that you come at every case with the level of doubt that every juror should bring with them, and that is that it's not guilty unless the state has proven it the other way beyond a reasonable doubt. So I really appreciate you emphasizing that for us. It's a key part to the whole justice system, and it's something we all should remember. Well, thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Later.
AWOL's awesome. And we like him in chat as well. Let's see. I've got one more here. This one's from overseas.
Call from
Aussie.
Aussie, hello. This is R.A. How are you doing?
Good. How you going?
Doing well. I love the accent. Are you Australia?
Yeah, from Australia.
That's what the Aussie. I was going to say either it's O-Z-Z-Y or A-U-S-I-E, one of the two. So.
Yeah, Aussie, yeah. A-U-S-I-E, yeah.
Yep. What's on your mind?
I've just got a question. If he's found not guilty, what would happen, because I'm not up to date with the custody in America compared to Australia, but what would happen to the daughter? Would he be able to go to Brazil and start a new life over there?
Most likely. His guilt and innocence is not going to affect the au pair's outcome. The only thing that can change that agreement is if the judge fails to recognize it and accept it and revokes it and says, nope, we're not going to give you time served. So the au pair is going to Brazil. As soon as this verdict's done, whether it's guilty or not guilty, she's going to Brazil, time served, done.
Yeah.
As far as the daughter, Brendan's daughter, I believe, I don't know who has custody right now, but I believe he could recover custody if found not guilty here, and then they can do whatever. So yeah, he'd be able to flee the country. There's nothing that would be holding him here. So
that is just wild. That is crazy.
And by flee the country, it would just be go travel abroad because he's not guilty at that point.
We've got grandparents' laws where hopefully a grandparent would step in and courts would award custody, but like on a civil matter. But yeah, it's just crazy to think that he could just get away. And in my opinion, he's guilty, but I'm only in just my opinion. But yeah, no, thank you for answering that. I was just wondering.
Yeah, it's a great question. And what time of the morning or night is it for you right now?
Oh, it's 8:50, so 8:53 a.m. So I can't wait for the verdict. But I love RA's channel because it fits in with my schedule because I'm ex-Navy and I got insomnia. So
that's awesome.
Just after this verdict, I'll have my morning breakfast and then have my lay down. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for all the work.
All I'd ask is you send some of your warm weather up our direction because we're freezing up here.
Yes, definitely I can. We had 50.2 degrees the other day. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but
it's smoking
hot. It was a record for Australia. Yeah, so you can definitely have some of our warm weather and melt your snow.
All right. Appreciate it, Ozzy. Thank you very much for the call. Good talking to you.
Take care, mate. Bye.
Right, bye. I appreciate Ozzy calling in. I don't know. Oh, I didn't ask Ozzy's username. I apologize for that. Maybe Ozzy in chat, if you can just type that. I missed the message. Everyone's like, it's not Ozzy. It's another Ozzy. Anyway, welcome. All right, one more call. We're just watching the clock. We've got about 6 minutes before we expect the verdict.
Shannon.
Hello, Shannon. This is R.A. How are you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Doing pretty good. So I know if I was a juror, the first thing I'd want to do is listen to that 911 call and see what did the human voice say.
Oh, yes.
Do we know if anyone was able to figure out what they could have heard?
I went to work on it. We played it over and over, and it sounds like three syllables said in like a slowly rising pitch, da-da-da type thing, like don't do that type, that type of sound. But we listened over and over. There's too little. You've got the dispatcher talking on the front end over some of it, which I think there's actually a little bit of sound at the very beginning of the call before the dispatcher starts talking, which is indiscernible. And the dispatcher saying 911, what's your emergency? And then you've got the da-da-da sound, and then you've got the moaning. So it's just not enough. I would say yes, I would say it would be a human voice is what we heard. I don't think that was a dog at all. And I also don't think the moaning was a dog. But it just wasn't enough that we could actually make words out of it. And so the judge was probably right in keeping that out. That would be quite speculative.
Wow, I wonder what he would have said. I wonder what he thought it said. That was so crazy to me. They had to cut it off, and that was just lost to the sidebar.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. One of those things I guess we'll never know unless they talk to the public, but it's probably just lost to time now. We'll take speculation, though. Go listen to it. It can all be downloaded from the Fairfax County website. They have a high-profile court case page where you can download that audio yourself straight from the file, the 911 file, without any court audio or microphones or judge talking or anything else. And it's, it takes some work. Run it through the ringer, see what you can come up with. I'd love to hear.
Wow. Well, that's great. Thank you.
Shannon, thank you very much. Appreciate the call. All right. That was Shannon with 2 N's. Is that right? I need to ask people what their usernames are so we can link these together. The verdict will be read at 5. It's not a jury welfare check. You're right. You're right. It's going to be read 4 minutes. We've already played the verdict music. Let's see. The expert made a ton of money for nothing. He did his job as he was told. I'm not sure what the defense was looking for. Let's see. What's the poll? Oh, I forgot to submit the poll. But the poll is going to be, what is your verdict? Not guilty or guilty? The poll, the top answer is always not guilty when we're doing this. So be careful how you vote. Don't just click on the first thing that comes up. Read everything. I'm not changing votes for anybody. So there we go. The poll's up. What is your verdict?
Call from Amanda H.
Hey, Amanda H. It's been a while since we talked. How are you doing?
It has been a while. I've been super busy. Holiday season with my job is crazy. And we're finally up to, we got nice 70 degrees here in Texas. The ice is finally melting, So the thing on this case, the thing that sealed the deal, because I was kind of torn because I personally did not like that prosecution attorney. Did not like her at all.
Okay.
I think she was doing her little constant objection. I think she was doing it on purpose because she knew that it would throw that attorney off. Right. I don't know, did not care for her. But when Brennan was up there and he had his slip up stating, well, there wasn't a plan in place at that time. That sealed the deal right there. Like, that's not a slip of the tongue.
Why would you put a qualifier on the answer in any world, in any realm of reality where you say you're not guilty? Why would you qualify your answer?
Right. That right there sealed the deal. It didn't, everything else in the case went away. Like nothing else mattered that happened in the case besides when he said that. I'm like, right there, you slipped up. You just messed yourself up.
Yeah, that was.
So, anyways, but
terrible.
that was the closer for me right there. I was like, okay, I don't need to listen to anything else now because I've got my mind made up.
Yeah. Amanda H. Thanks for reminding us of that moment. That was quite impactful.
Yeah,
Appreciate
that was definitely the highlight of the trial, in my opinion.
Awesome. We've got about 1 minute before the judge comes back. Thanks, Amanda. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, we're gonna I think leave some space here for the judge so we don't miss anything. We have audio ready. Is it just me, or is Ari the true crime version of Delilah on the radio? It's a compliment. I know who that is. My voice isn't nearly as smooth as hers. My voice isn't nearly as smooth. I have guts taking calls. I also have my finger on the mute button, so that in case something goes wrong, right, just doesn't feel right, it's going to be cut off really quick. Let's see. You missed the verdict music. Yes, we played it about half an hour ago, maybe a little more. I'm most excited actually about hearing Judge A's sentencing comments. We never got to hear what she's like at sentencing. This is going to be interesting. A lot of people who know her, and I'm thinking about like Rob from Law and Lumber, who practices in basically her courtroom that's his backyard. They say they love her. She's amazing. We've seen her in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, and we've seen her in this trial, but she's absolutely incredible. I've loved her rulings. I've loved watching. I've loved listening to her. I think she's an excellent judge, but we always like to hear right at the very end where the judge is sort of unfettered, right? Once the verdict has been decided and passed down, then the judge finally gets to say something. Usually it's in sentencing. I want to hear that. I want to see what the judge, when she's able to craft her own words outside of the instructions of the law, and she's basically able to elaborate a little bit. It's going to be epic. I'm looking forward to that a ton. Let's see. Everyone's wanting the verdict music again. We only play it once. That's the rule. Litigator, I'm actually most excited about hearing the judge's comments. I am as well. Thank you very much, Litigator, for that. And by the way, let's see, Litigator, you were Jody Callahan. It's just me. Oh, thank you very much, Jody. We got that one for the super chat. Thank you very much. Also, we had Mal's your pal, 2 years. OG, 24 months. Thank you very much. Green-eyed cat, best place to watch a verdict. Sorry, I missed the music replay. You know the rules. Thank you, Green-eyed cat. And then also, I have to say a big thank you to Sandy, who gifted 10 memberships earlier. Thank you very much, Sandy. Appreciate that. I'm going to close the poll here because the judge is about to come out and talk to us any second now. Looks like we have, about 894 votes in. I'm going to give it a second. Here we go. Oh, we're ending the poll. Here we go. The judge is coming out.
You swear affirm to accurately take and transcribe the proceedings in this case to the best of your ability under penalty of law.
Someone's getting sworn in.
All right. I understand. You can be seated. Thank you.
What?
I understand we have a verdict. Are we ready for the jury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder that I cannot tolerate any outbursts in the courtroom at the time of the verdict reading, please. Thank you.
No outbursts. And right away we stand. I hope it's loud. Just notice the boundary mic on the judge's desk. Not the one with the stick, the flat one that I'm covering now. I do hope the judge reads it. When they first saw the jurors walking in, defense attorney turned and started speaking to his client. Maybe, he said, it doesn't look good. Counting to 12. Everybody's here. Judge reviews the form.
All right. And juror number 9, you were the foreperson in this case, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes, it is.
And are they unanimous?
Yes, it is.
So I'd like the jury polled.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Each
Members
juror
of the
gets
jury,
to...
if this is your verdict, please answer yes. If this is not your verdict, please answer no. Juror number 2. Juror number 5.
Yes.
Juror number 9.
Yes.
Juror number 10.
Yes.
Juror number 12.
Yes.
Juror number 19.
Yes.
Juror number 22.
Yes.
Juror number 25.
Yes.
Juror number 28.
Yes.
Juror number 32.
Yes.
Juror number 34. Juror number 37.
I do need you to go back to the jury room for one more time, and I'll be back there in a few minutes just to talk to you before you leave, okay? All right, so you're excused to the jury room. Thank you. Mr. Banville, in accordance with the jury verdict, I do find you guilty of aggravated murder on count 1 of 2024-666, and also count 4 of 2024-666, and count 5, commission of a felony with a firearm of 2024-666. Also, on count 1 of 873 of child endangerment, I do find you guilty as found by the jury. Do you wish to have a pre-sentence investigation report, Mr. Carroll?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll order a pre-sentence investigation report for this case. What date did you want to set this for?
I don't know what dates you would have available.
I could set it for
30, 60, 90 days. Or
plan to have victim impact statements, I
Yes, ma'am.
assume, and testimony. I mean, I could put it on, well, any day before July 1st.
Understood.
I'm retired then. So let's pick.
Wow, she's retiring in July 1st.
Is April far enough for you, Mr. Carroll?
I may just look at my schedule.
Sure.
Would there be a particular day?
April 17th is my sentencing day.
Okay.
Judge, that is the one day in April we would
You
not.
can't do, okay. Well, we can make it a different
sooner.
date in April. I mean, I do have March 20th, but that might be too quick.
Sounds like a March sentencing.
And April 17th doesn't work for you?
No,
No,
but
unfortunately.
if you
You
don't
do?
want to go to, I mean, we could go to May 8th. I have May 8th available. Or I could make it any Friday that you want to go to in April, if that's too far for you, Mr. Carroll.
May 8th is available, Judge. It's only 2 weeks away from April 17th.
Okay, May 8th?
That's fine.
Sentencing occasion. But four guilties across the board. The jury took can't speak anymore. Depending on your count, between 8.5 and 10.5 hours to deliberate.
Call from Amanda H.
Okay, Amanda H., you're back. How are you doing?
Hey, it's me again.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a quick question now that we got verdict.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be a stipulation in Juliana's papers or whatever, her agreement and all that she can't have contact with Brennan if he's found guilty and he's in jail, or can they contact each other back and forth?
There might be a stipulation in his paperwork that she won't. I don't think they're going to change the deal they have for her.
Okay, so it could be in his. I just thought about that if he's found guilty. I was like, wonder if they'll still try to stay in contact with each other after the fact.
I don't know why they would. I mean, he almost just let her rot.
I don't know why they would do what they were doing anyways, but
when she got arrested, he pretty much just left her in there. She thought that he was going to, make sure that she got out and everything was fine, and she was pretty let down by his lack of support while she was incarcerated for a year before he was.
Yeah. Okay, it may be. I just thought about that though after the fact. Was like,
I don't think they're going to kiss and make up. I think this.
Well,
is
they
one
definitely ain't
relationship
kissing. They may make up, but they definitely won't be kissing.
Yeah, good question, Amanda. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. All right, have a good night.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Bye.
There is a lot to talk about in this case, a lot of evidence that we heard that we can now go back and look at in the light that the jury made the decision in. And I expect we're going to be touching on some of that tonight as we talk with the Courtroom Confidential team. Well, just Josh, but I like talking with the whole team before and after. It's honestly my favorite time being on Courtroom Confidential is the before and after, talking with the whole family. But please join us tonight for that. We're going to be talking obviously about this verdict and what it means and what happens next. So that'll be fun. Can the judge reject Juliana's plea? Yes, Jody. Yes. The judge can say, nope, that is a improper agreement. What does that leave to her? I think everything's on the table then. If the judge rejects it, I don't think they'd be able to use her confession against her if she went to change her plea. I just don't know. That just seems wrong that they would be able to say, we're going to give you a deal if you cooperate, you tell us everything, and now we have this evidence against you and we reject the deal, now we're going to charge. I don't think that would be right. But I do think that she is going to get time served and be out of the country from then on. I haven't seen the STS with Dr. G yet. It sounds amazing. Thought it was mandatory life. What time? 8 o'clock Eastern on Courtroom Confidential's channel. All those baby names going to waste. When is Juliana scheduled for sentencing to find out her fate from the judge? I would expect it happens within about a month or so. I guess of now.
Call from.
What time? Donald clock Eastern on court.
Hey, this is RA. Can you turn down your TV or your computer?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Who am I speaking with?
This is Donald.
Hey, Donald. What's on your mind, Donald?
Yeah, to answer Amanda's question, if Juliana is a convicted felon, and the prison can ban contact between them, so which they more than likely will do.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they do that as a regular rule, because all the people in there are pretty much convicted felons and they associate with each other.
At Pontiac, people in the prison couldn't contact convicted felons if they were found out to be convicted felons, and they would just be banned.
Wow. Interesting.
I don't know how it works out there, but that's how they did it here.
I think they're going to probably try to do something on Brendan's side to make sure.
Could be.
But,
so,
and I think
know.
one side's enough. You don't need to catch it from both sides. But interesting. Your thoughts? Did the jury get it right? Yeah, go ahead.
The Department of Corrections can do that, though, if they want.
Yeah.
My thoughts on the verdict?
Yeah.
I really thought what did him in was his boss. I think it's still at that point, it came down to whether you could believe Juliana or him.
Right.
And even though I thought the prosecution, even though they didn't do a great job, provided enough information to convict him, I think that put him over the, edge.
Yeah, the boss was sort of sealed the deal. Donald King, thank you very much. Appreciate you weighing in on that
have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Watch you tonight. Bye.
Call from Angela.
Hello, Angela. How are you doing this afternoon or morning, as the case may be?
I'm good. Well, it's night here, almost midnight, so I'm doing great. I am very, very, very happy about the verdict. And I'm pretty sure everyone in my house was heard of my happiness.
You gave a whoop?
Yeah, well, my mom was next to me, and my dad and my brother were in the next room. So yeah, it wasn't that hard to hear.
That's awesome. What was your thoughts? What made this be an obvious decision for the jury? What do you think was the deciding factor?
I don't know if anyone called me. The person that called before the verdict was read, or someone in the comments. I don't remember, but someone said that at this time we did not have a plan. Right. I do completely agree with that. Also, so many inconsistencies, and I don't know how U.S. government works, but I'm pretty sure that meetings about promotions and so on happen Monday through Friday, not on a weekend.
What day was?
Yeah, maybe I think it was Saturday. Maybe in extreme situations it happens on a weekend because someone died or early.
There might be like cabinet level meetings on the weekend, but everybody else, government workers, the weekend is off unless you've got a job that requires you to work that time for and that's
and I am pretty sure. I'm pretty sure no promotional meetings happens. I don't think, at least here in Sweden. I don't know about US, so yeah. I mean, if I were to believe all the series I still watch, even though some of them are ruined thanks to court watching.
Once you know how the system works, the TV shows are like, hey, they're doing it wrong. So.
Yeah, not all, but some of them are completely ruined. They do agree with from what I have seen, it's the same. Like all the important stuff happens 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or whatever the hours are, Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, no such thing. Well, no such meetings happens or promotions and so on happen. So yeah, that I was like, even before the rebuttal witness came, I was like, that sounds very fishy. I mean, first I thought, sure. But then I found out it was a Saturday, and I was like, nope, no, I do not believe you.
And he was wearing jeans. And, he was not...
that's true.
Even I know you dress up for a promotion. If you're going in for an interview with your boss to see if, you get the big promotion you've always wanted, the highest position in the office, aside from the boss's job, you don't dress like a slob.
Also, who am I to judge about the dressing code? My previous job, which is a research center, do you know how many times I saw the the director of the research center in a jeans, nice shirt, or and even a vest, and I'm talking like a knitted vest. Your grandma or mom or someone that loves you makes you, So I am definitely not the person to say and to judge about clothing people in power or higher ups are wearing, because I have seen way too many people in the upper management wear casual clothing. So I'm the wrong person to say that, but I am the right person to say that the rest of the stuff sounded very fishy.
Yeah. Awesome. Angela, thank you very much. Appreciate you weighing in.
I have actually an alternative reason to why I'm calling.
Okay.
That YSL case that lasted about a year?
Yeah.
Well, trial
Young
lasted
Slime
about
Life.
a year. So, yeah. So today I found out, I heard about the case previously, but I didn't know the details. So there's this case here in Sweden. The details of the case are horrible.
Okay.
And according to Brian, who is in the chat, hi Brian, I sent him the case details. He was like, such thing would never happen in the U.S. Such trial. But my point is that trial has been ongoing now for 3 years.
It's a long one.
It's a long one. Yeah. And one of my professors
like a RICO style trial too? Is it like an organized crime?
I have the case file. I can send it to you. It's about
okay.
300 pages.
It's okay.
Well, it's not the case file. Sorry, it's not the case file. It's an indictment.
Okay.
The case file is about 80,000 pages, which I am tempting to send a request for because it's public knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't. It's electronic file. I sent during the lunch today the request, and not even 10 minutes, maybe at most 15 minutes later, I got the file back, both in Swedish and English.
Wow, that's quick. That's some responsive FOIA people. So
yeah.
Well, awesome. Let us know how that goes. I'll let you do the reading and summarize this for us. So appreciate that.
Yeah, I can send you the file in English so you can read it.
I'll pass. It's a lot of reading. Thank you very much, Angela. We'll see you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Let's see. We're trying to get... Yes, I liked what I saw so far. Let me look again. Oh, yeah. I like it. Although I'd like to have a spot where we can have a label on it, so you can say what the award's for. Let's see. He was not offered any deal, right? What's the max you can get? The max is also the minimum. Becca Sasaki. The max is life in prison without parole, and that is also the minimum in this case.
This is Bep.
Map or Bep, how are you doing? Sorry.
Hi. Sorry. I didn't even realize you had answered just yet, but yeah, this case was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've watched a trial where the defendant's testimony made me as convinced that they were guilty as this particular one. So I guess thank him.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was it was quite detrimental. I'm just watching. Court TV might have they say it might be a press conference and everyone's moving.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, if you're about to show a press conference, that'll be good.
Probably won't be able to show this one, but they're taking everything down. All the cameramen are grabbing their mics and leaving. That's a nice mic. I have that one.
Yeah, I want to hear from the jurors on this one. I don't usually listen to the juror interviews, but I want to hear the jurors and their take on his testimony also.
Do wonder if the jurors will come out and talk. That would be interesting if they do. So
yeah,
for sure. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Bep, good talking to you. Bye-bye. All right. I think what we're going to do is I as a general rule, I don't show press conferences because of some of the problems it causes, channel-wise. So I can see that we've got people calling it for a day, so I think we're going to wrap up right here. I'm going to thank everybody for being here, for being with us on Court Watch. We're going to return to to this trial. We paused. We paused right now. We're going to continue there tomorrow. Try to get caught up. We should be able to catch up this week. I've got somebody on the phone. Hang on. Hello? Hello? Who's this?
Call from?
Eden the Wise, really quick.
To accept.
Eden the Wise. You got music playing off the stage, but what's on your mind?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm glad that kind of solidified what I was thinking. Had he not got out there and testified, he probably could have confused the juror or two. So.
Yeah, he did himself in, I think. I think you're right. One more reason not to testify in your own defense. Rarely is the right answer.
I hate to protest. I hate to say that, but yeah, sometimes it bites you in the butt. But have a good rest of your day.
Eden the Wise, thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye-bye. All right, with that, we're going to call it quits. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again tomorrow morning. We're going to make it early. Let's do an 8:30 start. We've got a lot of catch-up to do. We're about a day and a half, maybe 2 days behind, and we can probably make up most of that ground in 1 day. 1 day. So, what was the no then? What was the question? I missed. There's been a lot of things in chat. The Court TV does have a press conference coming up. I think they're moving indoors is what's happening because it's so cold outside. So we'll see if that works. Press conference maybe on the inside. We'll see. Tonight, please join us on Courtroom Confidential. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about this case, answering some questions maybe. You guys have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow and tonight. Bye-bye.
Because he's the guy.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
You don't put a diplomatic plate on a hoopty.